Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Saturday, October 21st, 2023, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, Cash App, $ ORION NWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Washington State Cougars versus the number 9 Oregon Ducks. A pretty emotional loss for us against the Huskies last week on the road, but we are about to rebound and get in the W column today here in Eugene. Weather is a little bit overcast. I assume that we're going to get a little bit of rain. We got Ohio State and Penn State 13-6. The Buckeyes are up by 7 with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And then we also have Oklahoma and UCF going at it 24-23 on ABC. And this will be nationally televised for the Ducks and the Cougs. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day. I figured this Buckeye and this Nittany Lion matchup was going to be low scoring. I figured it would be 17-14 or 20-17, and it's even lower scoring than we anticipated. We're looking at 13-6. Both teams very highly ranked, and the big part about it is the defenses are the real deal. Holyfield, when you deal with defenses that are two of the best in the country, you're not going to get a whole lot of points, even if you end up getting, good pieces like Marvin Harrison, Junior. It's not going to matter. And the defenses definitely have been showing out. I don't even remember the last time that we had two of the top 7 teams ranked in the nation, let alone both of them in the Big Ten, unless we're talking Ohio State and Michigan, where it's this low scoring and the defense is the real deal. Penn State's defense statistically is number 1 in the nation. Run stopping and obviously on the pass. But even with that being said, with the weapons that Ohio State has, hey, Marvin Harrison Jr. with another catch, 13-6. And then, like I said, we got about, 5-6 minutes left in that game. And then on ABC, ESPN, Oklahoma's up 24-23. And that one is less than 5 minutes to go as well. Let's go, baby. Sarah in the building, what's good? Megan in the building, what's good? Maserati Marv. I like it. Let's go. I'm ready. Are you surprised that the game is so low scoring with the Ohio State and the Penn State? It's a little shocking. We already knew, the games were going to be very close. I definitely thought the winner would be, typically, by 7 points or less, but I thought it could be as low as 3, 2, or 1, depending on, what kind of touchdown scenarios that we get. And Penn State actually had a fumble that was recovered for a touchdown earlier, and that would have sprung the Uncle Mo probably for Penn State to win the game, but then it got called back due to a hold, and they haven't recovered since. Now, if that would have counted, we'd be sitting at 13-13 right now, and then maybe a field goal to win it or to go to overtime could have been the difference. But, it is what it is. I don't necessarily think it was controversial. It was a hold. It was just like the worst possible timing to have a hold from someone that, maybe wasn't really focused on the full play. And even if it happened on the opposite side or nearby, but then to be able to get a big play like a fumble, run it back for a touchdown. And there's not going to be a lot of fumbles for touchdowns or pick sixes or kick return or fumble returns for touchdowns. So it's like that was their one moment for Uncle Mo, to get on the couch. And I think if Penn State was at home, they would win this game. I figured whoever the home team was would feed off that crowd and that energy. And Ohio State at home, I picked them to win. And it is very, very low scoring, 13-6 with 4 minutes to go. And then we have on ABC 3:30 and counting. And I assume Oklahoma will find a way to beat UCF. But UCF is giving them all they can handle until about right now. Touchdown Sooners. And now they just ended up winning the game against UCF. But you are ranked number 6 in the nation. So let's go, baby. And then we got a good matchup tonight with the Cougs. We got Cougs and Ducks now, but we got the Utes, going against USC later tonight. I don't really know exactly. I mean, I figured I was just going to end up doing this matchup and then, probably spend time with Paisley. But, depending on how I feel after this matchup is over, there is a possibility that I might do that Utah USC game. I haven't made a thumbnail though, and usually the thumbnails take me about an hour to make, hour and a half. So I don't know. And then tomorrow, I have to decide if I want to do the Bucks and the Falcons in the morning, then do a couple reaction videos after the game is over, like two or three, and then we're going to end up doing the Dolphins and the Eagles. Depending on the Sunday night matchups, we've decided either to do it or to skip it and do more reaction videos. But obviously, Dolphins and Eagles is a potential Super Bowl preview, and this year, next year, or the following year. So it is one of the best matchups of the year. So I'm going to be definitely doing that as well. England getting chippy. Nice. Keep me updated. So all blacks are in the championship game, and then it's going to come down to England or South Africa. Do you have a potential favorite? It's going to be South Africa winning over England, or is it England going to be winning over South Africa? What is your prediction? But we already know the All Blacks are going to win the whole thing, right? They're the best team. So Daniel in the building. What's good? Marvin Harrison. Well, we pretty much knew that that was probably going to end up happening. 6-0 England. And I had to hit with the thumb. Now I did have some Bo Nix, uniforms of him in like white and in yellow, but I figured I was trying to find the perfect Bo Nix, transparent image that I could, remove the background. But I went through many, 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 many images, and they didn't really have a lot of the players dressed up. Like they'll have them after the game is over. But as far as a thumb, I had to be able to find the best one that actually showed the jersey as well as the helmet since we're going throwback. So it'll be one of those moments that, out of the whole season, I'm typically going to have Bo Nix or one of the studs, on the thumb. But, if I have to go with a throwback, and I didn't want to use a throwback photo of like, Marcus Mariota or like when we played Washington State a few years ago when we wore the uniforms. And obviously, this is in remembrance of our throwback unis that we wore in 94 against Washington when we got the big pick with Kenny Wheaton. So I always love it when we end up wearing the throwback unis. McCord, Marvin Harrison Jr., great block, touchdown, Buckeyes. And now the game is over. Sorry, Penn State. You needed a little bit more on offense if you wanted to be able to win this game. You needed at least one touchdown, and you needed at least that fumble to count for that tutty. And that one is over now. All right, so I'm going to go here since I know that one is completely over. And let's turn up the volume for ABC. So I got the last part of Oklahoma UCF. And then as soon as this is over, then it'll transition into the Cougars and the Ducks. Omega, Marvin, they got some studs. Oh, I love college football. Well, how would we do the pecking order with it? We would go Marvin, and then we go Omega, and then Fleming third. England. So then that's what we want. Then we want England to win, so that way that the revenge factor can happen. So it's already written. The sports gods have already had England winning, so that way that the revenge can happen. So mark it, write it down, know it. England, New Zealand All Blacks win. Boom shakalaka. Let's go, baby. Yeah, and there's a chance that you know the other two receivers end up being a little bit better than maybe people anticipate, right? Like everyone's talking Marvin, 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 but maybe I mean I would be surprised if Fleming ends up being better than Marvin. I highly doubt that. But he could end up being a good role player on some team. But the real question is a mega, mega, mega. That he could be. It seems like he's got the skill set that he's not that far off from Marvin. And if he gets on the right team and he gets a lot of targets, that he could be just as good based on what I've seen in his career. Like he's a guy that could get a touchdown or two or three in college. So if you can do that in college, you might be able to do one or two in a game, depending on if you're getting the right amount of targets. But again, it just depends on if you're getting the looks. It's also like with Jackson Smith-Njigba. We assume that he would be a little bit more of a star, and he'd be able to get a little bit more looks. But every player develops at a different rate. So we have to wait for some players from like Ohio State. Some will go right out of the gates and they'll be very, very good. Others, it may take a little time, for them to be able to kind of really show what they have. And just because, Jackson Smith-Njigba, if he doesn't end up being great right away, that doesn't mean that he's a bust. They got DK, they got Lockett. Maybe they have to wait for one of those guys to have a minor injury for him to get more targets. Or it may just be a little bit slower of a process for him as well. So. Yeah, Rome Odunze, Jalen McMillan. Yeah, I mean, the Pac-12 has got some great, great players. I know a lot of people are, but again, how many targets is he actually getting? So he's not really getting a whole lot of looks. I mean, DK and Tyler are getting a majority of the looks, and obviously Kenneth Walker, and then you're handing it off to Charbonnet here and there. So you're really not giving him a whole lot of opportunities. Now, if you're giving Jackson Smith-Njigba 10 targets every game and he's only getting like 2 catches, then you're like, oh, we have a problem. But if you're only getting like 2 to 5 attempts and you're only getting 1 or 2 catches, well, that's kind of what you would assume. You're not going to go to a guy that's third string wide receiver 5 times and he's going to catch all 5. That's pretty rare, unless, he's a freakish athlete and he catches everything that's near him. And sometimes maybe the throws from Geno aren't going to be good. It'll be under pressure. And sometimes it'll just be like an incomplete pass. So, yeah, it's a little alarming, but we had alarming kind of worries for, Witherspoon, and look how that turned out. So sometimes you just got to maybe wait your turn, and I think things will be okay. That's when I try to be able to be like a coach, and look at it from all angles. Okay, it's like if he's getting this many, let's say 10, and he's only getting 1 or 2 catches, then we have a serious problem that maybe he's a bust. But if he's only getting a couple opportunities a game, you can't expect too much. Like the guy gets 3 attempts and, gets 1 catch or none. I mean, it's not a big deal. But again, if he ends up getting 3 or 4 catches and he gets in the end zone, then, you're like, oh, wow, okay, this is what we got. So 31-23 Sooners, second down and 10 with 1:36 left against UCF. UCF is trying to tie it up here, and then we're going to get into the Duck game. I mean, I try to look at it from every single angle. You know what I mean? Like I said, with me, it's like I feel like with me not being biased and just being able to call it how I see it, but also I try to have empathy and sympathy, and I try to be able to think of what it would be like to be the coach or the player, of another team, and to really look at that full roster and to see, what we're getting. And, obviously most people, for Seahawks fans, they've already made up their mind that, even up to just a couple games ago, that maybe both of them were busts. Like it wasn't good. And then Witherspoon obviously had the sack lunches and had the pick 6. And now we all feel comfortable that that was a smart pick. But we had to have that big game to give us that reassurance that, okay, this wasn't a mistake. We could have went Jalen Carter. We could have went Christian Gonzalez. We decided to go Witherspoon. First couple games, it looked like it was a mistake. But now, him being a little undersized, it doesn't matter. He's got the dog in him. He can get the sack lunches like a Rondé Barber. He got the pick 6. So, now you feel comfortable, even if he has a couple good games, couple bad games, that he's improved, each game. And he's shown that, he can make those big, big plays just like, Tariq Woolen, Reek Woolen, or anybody else on the roster. So, but we haven't really had that breakout game or that breakout moment, for Jackson Smith-Njigba yet. But we may, where he ends up having a game where he gets like 2 touchdowns. And then we're all right, here we go, But really, I feel with him, he's not as good as DK or Tyler Lockett. So it's going to come down to, even at his very best, he's not as good as those two. So it may come down to a minor injury like a sprained ankle for DK. He's out 1 week. Boom. Now Jackson Jigba can be the number two, and then maybe he'll get more looks, and then he can prove himself. So that's kind of how I'm thinking. But hopefully, as the games go along, we'll get him into the end zone, and maybe he'll get a few more targets. But targets are going to be earned. So I want to make sure the Duck game hasn't started yet either. 4th down and 10. Let's do it. Oh, wow. Touchdown, UCF. Now they got to go for the 2-point conversion to tie. I mean, I'm trying to watch the Duck game here. Come on now. All right, I got to go back here and see what we got going on here. I got to wait. I got to wait for them to finish this game up. All right, hold up. All right, 1 sec. I got to refresh. Refresh, baby. Big stop by the Sooners. 31-29. So it looks like they're going to end up wrapping this one up. How many games to give JSN before you think he's a bust? A couple years, because you just pick a guy right away. You can't expect them to be great. Obviously you drafted him hoping that, he would be a guy that could end up getting in the end zone every, 3 games, end up having 100 yards here and there. But, again, it's all about targets. And if Geno doesn't get him the ball enough, that doesn't mean that he sucks. It's just that he's not getting enough opportunities. But clearly he's not as good as DK or Lockett. But I don't think he's a bust. I would say give it a couple years, give it this year and give it next year. And we have to judge him based on his targets, how many drops that he has. Like, imagine if he gets 6 targets a game and he's dropping 3 of them, then we're probably going to say he's a bust. But if you're catching, 4 out of 6, if the throws are good, and every 1 out of every 7 games or 6 games he gets a tutty here and there, he's not going to put up stats that are going to be, shooting off the page. So I feel with him, we can be patient and we can say, let's give him, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. Let's see how he does, based on how many targets he gets. And then we can evaluate to see if that was a mistake in the draft or maybe he just needs an opportunity to shine. So that's my honest opinion with that. You can't mark guy a bust right away, and not let alone in the rookie year. You got to give them at least a year or 2, see how they're developing. And then after year 2 is over, then we can decide, yep, maybe this was a mistake. Maybe we should have went for a different player or a different position. So come on, baby. Let's go to the Duck game already. Let's go. Let's go. All right, Oklahoma with the kneel down, so we should be getting going here. Looks like kickoff is going to be in 10 minutes. So they decided to push the game back just a little bit, but coverage is going to get linked over here in just a sec. So I got ABC, through the cable provider, through Comcast here just on the computer. So we'll be good to go. I did see that. Well, Greg Schiano and a few other coaches already brought that up. But, I mean, it's different in football rather than in baseball. And like I said, it's going to be different, on like the New England Patriot level and on the college level. So I mean, you got to think plenty of teams are going to be having probably people scattered around the stadium, looking around for different signals and this and that. But the way that college football goes, I mean, even if you know certain signs, is that going to be big enough to really alter the game? I doubt it. You know what I mean? They have so many of those boards and so many audibles and like hand positions. It's like they got the decoy guy, they got the real guy, and they have all the different signs and all the different gestures that they do. I mean, Michigan is a good football team. I don't really think that they need to steal signs to be able to try to be number one. And let alone, it's like Ohio State and Michigan typically can't even beat out Georgia and Bama. Maybe this year will be a little different, but I mean, the sign stealing is a little weird for them to bring up. Now, obviously, there's going to be a lot of illegal recruiting, but now we have NIL deals for the players. But that doesn't mean that some players go to their apartment, open up a door, and open up a duffel bag, and there's 20,000 cash in there. Like to act like certain things like that still, don't happen is false. We already know, boosters that are rich that are associated to the university are going to take care of the star players. That's just how it goes, and it's not just like Alabama and Georgia that are doing this. I mean, every team, has got rich boosters, for every college organization, and some are going to, go a little bit out of their way to make sure that player has money. But if they have an NIL deal, then you don't really need to do that anymore, unless they're just, showing love and whatnot. So, Megan, you worried about today? Utah and USC? I think USC should win that game, but it might be a little bit closer than people think. I need to look to see if oh, you're going to be going up against Nate Johnson, so you should be able to win that, though. I was going to say if Cameron Rising was back, and obviously he didn't have that major injury, Utah would be much higher than the 14 right now. It's crazy that they're 5-1 and they don't even have their star quarterback. They're not the same team as years past. They're still good, but their run game and their defense isn't as good as the past 2 years when they've won the Pac-12. They're not as good. They're still good. They could still beat USC on the road, but I would assume USC being at home, they're going to get business taken care of. USC lost, Oregon lost. We both want to get that ugly taste out of our mouths, and we're both going to win today. Now, I think Utah can still put up a good fight, but as long as Caleb doesn't throw 3 picks, you should be fine. Get back to having a good maybe Heisman moment like Michael Penix Jr. had obviously against Oregon last week. All right, so we got kickoff here in about 7 minutes as they get Oregon prepped with the throwback unis. Oh, he's going to Utah, USC. Ooh, fun game to go to. All right, baby. I'm ready. Kind of a gloomy day here. We definitely beat out the rain. Me and Paisley ended up going for an hour walk this morning. And I got a chance to go to the store, and then it looks like it's gonna pour down, at any minute. But I think it's just gonna be kind of cloudy skies and whatnot. Let's go. We're getting that bounce back win today, baby. Let's go. Bo Nix, baby. Cameron Ward, baby. Holy shit, 80? Wow. All right, here we go. ABC. 4-2 Washington State Cougars, 1-2 in the Pac-12 versus the 5-1 number 9th ranked Oregon Ducks. Let's go. Yeah, very, very cold and kind of overcast. But after this game is over, definitely we'll go probably for another walk with Paisley and whatnot. But I'll end up catching that Utah USC game. I'll end up watching that. But yeah, I'm probably going to want to make sure I spend some time with Paisley. I don't like to leave her alone, all day long. So, and then tomorrow we'll decide if we do Bucks and Falcons in the morning on top of reaction videos and the Dolphins and the Eagles, or if we just do Dolphins and Eagles and the reaction videos in the afternoon. So I'll have to make a decision when I wake up, and I'll message you and I'll let you know if I'm going to end up doing that Buccaneer game in the morning. So I kind of want to do it though because, like I said, it's kind of a make or break game for the Falcons and the Bucks, and it could determine, with the momentum, if the Bucks end up being the NFC South champ or if Atlanta creeps a little bit closer and it ends up being kind of three teams, right, really even with each other, where we could get the Bucks, the Saints, or the Falcons that win the NFC South. The one thing we know for sure is the Panthers aren't going to win the division, but the other three teams, it seems like the Bucks are the best team. Saints still have problems, with the O-line and the head coach and the coordinator. And I feel like the Falcons are better than the Saints, but Desmond Ritter plays good at home, but on the road, he kind of plays like shit. So it's like you got to be able to figure it out and get consistency. So this is really going to be a big game, and it could end up being Bucks, Falcons, Saints, Panthers. But even though the Saints roster is good enough to get first place, if your O-line is struggling and your coaching and your play calling is shitty, yeah, other teams might be able to pass you. So love the throwback unis, baby. Let's go. I wish I was there. And I don't know if I'll be able to go to that USC game. If donos get, a little bit better on the Cash App between now and November, or if I get gifted tickets again like I did with Mo Gumbo, I would love to be able to see Caleb before he ends up going to the NFL. I mean, even if that meant, that USC goes in there and wins, so be it. But just to be able to see him in the flesh, before he ends up changing an NFL franchise for the better, would be very cool. And it's going to be one of those games, just like with Colorado and some of the other matchups, where you're going to be standing pretty much the whole time. And the only game that I've ever been to where I've stood up the whole game was when I went with my dad against USC. It was probably like 10 years ago. It was back, when they had Matt Barkley, Nelson Aguilar. They actually had a pretty good team. We still had D'Anthony Thomas and LaMichael James, and it was around 2010, 2011, somewhere around there. And when we were there, we were on the 20-yard line, like in the fifth row, and literally nobody in the stadium. We both teams. This was late in the year. Both teams had like 8, 9, 10 wins. I think both teams were like 10-1, and it was like one of the last games in November before whoever was going to win the Pac-12 or the Pac-10. And you kind of had a feeling where, okay, whoever wins this could end up going to the Rose Bowl kind of feel. And babies, grandmas, grandpas, everyone was standing, and it was an amazing experience. We ended up losing with a missed field goal right at the end of the game, but I remember D'Anthony Thomas ended up getting a punt return for a touchdown with like 45 seconds left to get it like close, to tie the game and whatnot. And then it was just an amazing experience. And so I don't know if I'll be able to go this year, but I would love it. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go Ducks. Austin is such a great experience. And the Cougs are very hard to play on the road. They're in Pullman, but at home, we should be able to get this done. Let's go, baby. Ducks. Go. Ducks. That's a really good tradition, too. One side with the Go, one side with the Ducks. I mean, 55,000 people. Throwback unis, 1994 vibes. Kenny Wheaton, pick six. Let's go, baby. Cameron Ward, Bo Nix. Let's go. I'm ready. But I tried to go to 1 or 2 games this season. Got to go to see Colorado when we mollywhopped them. Harper in the building. What's good? But if I had a choice to go to one more game, definitely USC. Even if the tickets weren't as good, normally I try to get tickets on the Duck sideline within the first, 10 rows. But even if that meant, getting seats like in the 30th row, and going up a little bit higher, but just being there, yeah, I would definitely do that. So it's like I'm not going to be one of those people that's like, oh, if I can't go in the front row or in the first couple rows, I'm not going. Hell, I mean, there's no bad seat. Even when you go to the very, very top of Autzen and you're at like row 80, it's beautiful. The way that the stadium is constructed, it's like you're kind of hovering over the field. So, all right, let's go, Ducks. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Let's go, baby. 6'2", 223 pounds, Cameron Ward. The game is on ABC, or if you need a link, obviously there'll be many links that are showing this. And you can also watch it on abc.com/watch-live/ABC through your cable provider or satellite. Let's go, baby. How you doing, John? Let's go, baby. Let's go, Ducks. Shotgun set for Cameron Ward. Little button hook for about 5 yards. Yes, you don't want South Africa to win, especially if England taunted and they beat the All Blacks. You want to make sure that that team wins, so that way that you can actually have a good matchup. Win, lose, or draw. But obviously, getting payback would be we already know how that goes in sports. You never forget about the teams that beat you, regardless if it's rugby, lacrosse, football, basketball, baseball, hockey. You never forget. Shotgun set, handoff. Watson, short game, gain of about 2. 3rd down and 2. Let's go, Ducks. And they're not getting rained on. They say it never rains in Autzen, which is kind of weird because it is true. It could be like a downpour for like 3 hours. Then the game starts, it stops, and then as soon as the game ends, it starts raining again. So I don't know what it is with the sports gods, but they always announce it. It never rains in Autzen. And I think out of all the games I've ever watched, it's only rained maybe like 2 times in like 25 years out of games of me watching. Flag on the play. That looks like a false start or a delay of game. What is it? False start? False start. Yeah, baby. Yeah, and like I said, I'm familiar with the All Blacks because I know that there was a few people that did like reaction videos based off my reactions of doing those videos. They did like, silly Americans react to All Blacks New Zealand rugby, and whatnot, trying to like poke fun or whatever and stuff. But the video ended up getting over like 100,000 views, 100,000, 200,000, and it had just compilations of different YouTubers of different races, black, white, Asian, Mexican, reacting to the All Blacks and whatnot. Get him! Nice. First down, Cougars. Move the chains. Wow, they're running with a quad down at the bottom there. Shotgun set. Quick screen. Got him. There we go. You got 4 receivers down at the bottom of the screen. Not today. Let's go. Yeah, the only thing I had an issue with that is that they didn't ask my permission if they could use the clips from our videos to make that compilation video. I mean, I still would have said yes, but other than that, it was a cool experience to be a part of that video. 2nd down and 8. 12:30 left in the first quarter. Game is on ESPN, aka ABC. Number 9, Oregon 5-1. Versus unranked 4-2 Washington State Cougars. Shotgun set for Cameron Ward. Handoff. Watson, sit down. Let's go. Yes, sir. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's go, baby. 3rd down and 6. We got to stop Watson. We got to get to Cameron Ward. We stop their running game. We get some good pressure. There could be a big pick six or fumble for a touchdown today, or a punt return or kick return for the Ducks. 3rd down and 6. Come on, Ducks. Blitz. Yes. And complete. There we go. Yes, sir. Awesome. There we go. All right, Cougs with the punt. Cougars with the punt. All right, Bo. All you got to do is Bo leave. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I'm ready. Oh, really? Is that where they're playing? All right, Tennessee 7, Alabama 0, Missouri and South Carolina knotted up at 0, Tulane 7, North Texas 0, Iowa 3, Minnesota 0. I imagine you're watching that, Megan, or Sarah, excuse me. Ohio State 20, Penn State 12. So Penn State ended up getting something there at the end of the matchup, but still not enough. Big win for Ohio State, which I figured they were going to win. Oklahoma 31, UCF 29, Air Force 17, Navy 6. And then here in 7 minutes, we're going to have Texas and Houston, which I assume that Texas will win. Then you got North Carolina and Virginia. You're going to see North Carolina, Molly Watt, Virginia, and Drake May will go off. Ole Miss and Auburn, Michigan, Michigan State later today. Duke, Florida State's a good matchup. LSU, Army. And then the best matchup for the rest of the day is going to be Utah and USC at 5 on Fox. Number 14, Utah Utes versus number 18, USC Trojans. Trojans are favored by a touchdown. I will be watching. And then we also got Washington and Arizona State and UCLA and Stanford later on tonight. I'll probably watch all of those games. At least, do a live look in and try to keep up. So USC isn't on until tonight. So it's going to be on at 5 o'clock. So in about 4 hours. 4 hours from now, it'll be on. All right, baby. If you didn't go to but the LA Seattle would have been better for you. To be able to see USC and to be able to see Seattle. It's like I know you got a lot of love for the All Blacks, but I assume that your USC and Seahawk love is on the same level or maybe even a little bit higher. So, and we all have our teams that we love. So, all right, let's go, Bo. Yeah, and like I said, if I wasn't using a green screen, I could rock a lot of my green apple and yellow duck merch that I have with like my other duck gloves that I wear when I go to the games, and like my Justin Herbert, a green apple jersey. And I don't have any yellow duck jerseys, but I do have a lot of green apple and a lot of stuff that wouldn't be able to be seen with the green screen. I even have like a snow hat that lights up. It's like kind of for Christmas time, that I can either wear it or Paisley can wear it, and it's got a little switch inside of it with the ball on the top. and it has like little Christmas lights on it. Floater, wide open. Go, go, go. Yeah, first down, Ducks. There we go. Finley in the building. What's good? But and we'll get Matt probably here in just a few minutes as well. But again, anytime I wear anything that's green or yellow for the most part, I'll disappear and it'll just be like a floating head talking on the stream, which I know would probably be pretty entertaining. But you wouldn't actually get to see the clothes or the hat or the gear that I'm trying to rep. So reverse, end around, blockers downfield. There we go. 2 good blocks. First down, Ducks. Finley in the building. What's good, brother? How are you, dude? I appreciate your loyalty to the channel. You're always here. Let's go. And somebody's got to rep the Ducks on YouTube. You know what I mean? Not a whole lot of representation for the Mariners, the Ducks, the Blazers, the Buccaneers. So I got to make sure we're repping the NFC South properly. Got to represent the Pac-12, even though this is the last year. Plenty of Mariner coverage and a little bit of Blazers as well. Yeah. If I was going to be wearing something to church, I probably would want to be wearing some USC, just because of that loss last week. You want to make sure we get this Caleb dub today. And I've watched almost every Utah game this year, and they played pretty good. They only have 1 loss. But again, Cameron Rising at quarterback compared to like Nate Johnson is a complete difference. They've only lost 1 game, but the offense isn't as intimidating without Cameron Rising there. Cameron Rising and that team with the running game and the defense, there's a reason why they won the Pac-12 2 years in a row. They weren't able to beat Ohio State in the Rose Bowl, but Utah was the cream of the crop the last 2 years. But now with the injury, anytime you tear an ACL, MCL, PCL, it takes time to come back, especially if it happens in college. 3rd down and 12. Come on, Ducks. Don't let this drive stall. Come on now. Shotgun set. Bo with an audible at the line. Switches it up with his offensive lineman again. Shotgun set. 4-man rush. Pump fake. Step up. Step up. Oh, he caught it. Touchdown, Ducks. But that's going to come back due to a hold on the offensive line, more than likely. So we got the tutty, but I think it's coming back. They're playing the music, and yeah, it's coming back. Holding on the offensive line when they only rushed 3, even though they brought 4 initially. The band is already playing the music, but it's a hold on the offense. Stop the music. There we go. The band is still playing the music as if we didn't even hear that it was a hold. But anytime you get a flag that's going to be thrown, near the quarterback or near the line, I would say probably 99 times out of 100, that's going to be an offensive holding. That's a damn shame. That was a tutty there too. Yeah, obviously Georgia and Alabama, this is the weakest that we've seen both teams in a long, long time. Like we actually might get a champion outside of the SEC, which would be great. Bo, there we go. 3rd and 23 will take half of the yardage. Now it's 4th down. Now it's 4th down, and obviously we decided to go for it. We were 0 for 3 on 4th down last week. Now Dan Lanning got criticized, and then now we're going to go for a field goal. Now we're going to go for a field goal. We're not going to go for it. Come on, Dan Lanning, make up your damn mind. You're either going to go for it all the time and be a fake Chip Kelly, and now you want to get conservative against Washington State? Come on. 4th and 7, 47-yard attempt. Camden Lewis, no good. And he misses again. Stupid. Should have just punted. We obviously know that the kicker can't make it really past 40 yards. So if it's 47 and you don't want to go for it, how about just a pooch punt and get him back inside the 10? But again, Dan Lanning's a moron, so not a very good coach. Don't like him. Mario Cristobal, no thanks. So it's really Chip Kelly, Mike Bellotti, Rich Brooks, and everyone else is just bootios. That's tough. Make up your mind, Dan Lanning. And then the time you decide to actually go for it is the time that we should have went for it. And the time that we went for it, we should have kicked the field goal. He's like, he just doesn't know football. Kind of surprising when you're supposedly the best defensive coordinator in the country and you don't know how to coach. Let's go, baby. Stupid Ducks. God damn it. I miss when we used to have Siegel at kicker. It's like it's so underrated. People don't talk about like kickers. Not only in high school but college and in the NFL. Like how many games really get decided by 7 points or less, 4 points or less, 3 points or less. You need to have a guy that can make extra points, and you need to have a guy that can kick. 35, 40, 45, and if you've got a really good kicker, someone that could go 50, 55 yards, but it shows you like maybe we need to get more rugby and soccer players trying out for the NFL and college football because a lot of these kickers that are only football players that have only been kicking playing football. I mean, some of these guys aren't cutting it. Matt in the building. What's good? Ducks being stupid again, bro. We have a long opportunity to be able to, kick a field goal. We should have went for it, or I would have preferred a pooch punt, and try to get him in within the 10. But again, oh boy is greedy and he's stupid. So when we kick a field goal, we should have went for it. When we went for it last week, we should have kicked a field goal. It's like Dan Lanning. Every game that I watch, I start to hate him a little bit more and more and more. And I had a lot of respect for Mario Cristobal, but once you go over to Miami and you don't realize clock management and you decide to not kneel it to end the game and then run one more play and then the running back fumbles, the other team gets the ball, throws a touchdown, and then you lose. He's done that twice, so he's not a good coach either. Well, in that scenario, 47-yarder is too far for our kicker. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, you might as well have gone for it. If it's like a chip shot and we're close, like it was last week, kick the field goal. But if it's a long field goal, 40 to 50 yards, you might as well punt it or go for it at that point. You know what I'm saying? You have to know your kicker's abilities. And like I said last week, we got the pick before halftime, take the 3, then we would have been down by 1, and then maybe in the flow of the game, we could have ended up winning that game by 3. We had 2 fourth downs that we decided to go for it. We could have had 2 field goals, and they were close. They were field goals that our kicker could have made. Not like 50 yards, 47 yards. It's like our kicker just missed. So frustrating, man. Second down and 10. Trips left. Shotgun set. Wide open. First down, Cougars. Big play. First down, Washington State. Golly. Come on, Ducks. Clock management and just knowing when to do something at the right time. I mean, Dan Lanning ain't it, man. Get him. Get him. Golly, can't even sack Lunchum. Jesus. First down, Cougars. They're slacking because you didn't come in at the beginning of the game, Matt. You were slacking. They're like, oh, Matt didn't come in at the beginning of the game, so we're gonna fuck up a little bit in the beginning. Let's go, baby. They're driving. First down and 10, feeling good about themselves. We had a touchdown taken back due to a hold. Quick swing pass there. Remember, the Cougars are not 2-4. They're 4-2. They can win this game. The Pac-12 is very even. Some of the teams at the bottom are bad, but again, even with like Colorado and Stanford, they don't have any defenses. But when Stanford played Colorado, they were down 29-0, came back and won that game like 46-43 on a Friday night 2 weeks ago that I did the stream. So you never know. As long as you put your foot on the gas, you can end up winning. But the problem is on a lot of college teams, they get a little lackadaisical and get comfortable, and they think, oh, we won. I'm Dion. We won. And then you find out Stanford came back and punched him in the mouth. 2nd down and 3. No, you're good. There we go. 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Oh, ukulele, ukulele. Let's go, Ducks. Let's go. Nah, it's not on you. I'm just glad that you're here. I mean, we don't really have too many people that love the Ducks as much as you and me. At least the ones that come here on a regular basis. It's pretty much you and me until we end up getting a few more. I mean, besides my boy Brian, Collegiate Art Designs that makes the duck chains and whatnot. But we don't really have any really regulars that watch with us, Matt. At least not yet. Down the road we will. Yeah, baby. Let's see what the flag is. Have you been keeping track? 30 and 10. Flag on the play. Hopefully it's a hold and we'll decline it, and then we get the sack lunch. Let's see what they say. False start. Offense. Decline it. 5-yard penalty. Why repeat 3rd down? Decline it. It's 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Fuck it if it's a false start. Don't give him another chance. Hit the shit out of the quarterback. 3rd and 10. Let's go, Ducks. Crowd is getting hella loud. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Man in motion. Little screen. Get him. Tackle him. There we go. And now we got to hold them to a field goal, and we got to pray that they miss. Let's see if their kicker is better than ours. Camden Lewis, not very good. Not very good, Camden. This ain't Jason Siegel. There's been kickers in the past. I've been watching since the 80s, so I know when we have a good kicker and when we don't. And we got Dean Janikowski. I wonder if he's related to Sebastian. I wonder if Sebastian is his dad. Probably not, but you never know. No relation. They just said it, too. I was waiting for them to let me know if they were related or not. I didn't think it was. 4th and 5. Kick is up. And it's good. Well, at least someone can make a fucking kick. Yeah, the game was on ABC prior to this game. We saw the end. They decided to go for 2 when they were down by 8, got the touchdown, but then the 2-point conversion was good based off a really good defensive play by Oklahoma. But again, we already know Oklahoma is kind of suspect. They might be in the top, 6, but they're kind of fugazi. They play one of the powerhouse teams, they'll get smacked. You can't really count on their defense. Let's go, baby. Any other games that I should be watching right now that are worth a damn? Oh, UFC 294. I'm kind of interested in that. Nothing like 2 guys going in the squared circle, hitting each other like fucking barbarians in the face, 3-0, Cougs. Tennessee, Alabama. But does anyone actually think that Tennessee's going to win that game, though? Like, they're up 7-0 now, but I mean, Alabama's hella weak this year, but seems like they usually squeak it out at the end. And then Michigan State will be a mollywhopping. I just want to be able to watch Utah, USC tonight, watch a little Michael Penix Jr. against Arizona State. They'll mollywhop Arizona State by probably like 20 to 30. And then I'll probably even take a little peek at UCLA with Chip against Stanford, late in the day. I'll watch a little bit of that, but I like watching Washington with Michael Penix Jr., but the Utah, USC, that one looks pretty good. I mean, if I have time enough to make a thumbnail, depending on when this game ends, I wouldn't mind doing that game because, I mean, I'm probably going to be watching it anyways, but I want to make sure I don't get too burnt out because I might do 2 games tomorrow and do like a bunch of reaction videos, so I don't want to be like burnt. So you think so, Finley? You think they can beat them? That would be awesome for college football. Oregon going back to square one with the defense being sus. Milton. I like me. Look at that throw by Milton. Oh, baby. Take that, Bama. Take that. Bama and Georgia not being good is great. Like they already had their time and their run. It's like I get it, with like Shep and Calvin and a lot of people that like those teams, Mike. But it's like at some point we want to be able to see someone else, even if it's Michigan or Ohio State, give me someone else. And typically Michigan and Ohio State are like 3 and 4. They're up there, but when it comes to the playoff, they end up getting destroyed. Usually they can't, match up with the SEC at the end. Shotgun set. There we go. Yeah, baby. First down, Ducks. Move the chains. Because a lot of the players that were on TCU are no longer on TCU, right? Like I said, you can be really, really good for 1 year and overachieve, have a couple NFL players. Those guys move on or they graduate and don't make the NFL. And then you're left with whatever's left with the recruiting trail. So sometimes that can happen, You can always have a surprise underdog make it into the playoff or make it into the top 5 or top 6, and be really, really good, for that 1 year. But your luck will probably run out once you end up playing a superstar team that's got like 10 to 15 NFL players on it. It's like the average college team is going to have like 2 or 3 NFL players if you're in the top 25. If you're a powerhouse team, you're probably going to have 10 to 15 NFL players, some on offense, some on defense, maybe even some on special teams, as well as guys on the bench. Like if you're Georgia or Alabama, I mean, they probably got 30 NFL players, but they're not going to go every year. Maybe 5 or 10 the first year, then 5 or 10, that are sophomores, then 5 or 10 that are juniors. Go, go, go. Oh, baby, go, 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 go. First down, Ducks. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Missouri. Let's go, Tez. We're about to score. Let's go, Bo. Let's go, Bo. Bo knows. Uh-oh. Trick play, trick play. Trick play. Don't throw it. Oh, God. Oh, God. That could have been a pick. What was he doing there? Like, you have to have the awareness, right? When you know that the play is they sniffed it out, right? And it's like going to be a flea flicker or a running back or wide receiver is going to throw it. Once the handoff or the throw goes to the running back and the defense sniffs it out, don't fucking throw it. Just throw it away or go down and just run with it. Don't throw the ball up there for it to be a pick six for 100 yards. Don't be an idiot. Like this was going to be going back to Bo Nix, but he's covered. So don't throw it. And then the guy throws it anyways. And then it hits the Washington State Cougar defender in the back. I mean, if he actually had good awareness right there, that could have been a pick six for 100. Like a Kenny Wheaton play on us from 94 against Washington. Shotgun set, halfback toss. Blockers downfield. Let's go, baby. Come on, Ducks. Second and goal. Come on, Bo. Shotgun set. Play action fake. Nix. Screen pass. There. Oh. What happened to my hands? Come on. Lee. Third and goal. We're not looking very good here. Like the lasting effects of that Huskies loss is still lingering. I mean, we should get excited. We're wearing the throwbacks from 94. Fucking play like it. Let's go. The play calling and the coaching is absolutely terrible for Oregon. Get rid of it. Get rid of it, Bo. Bo knows. Go, Bo. Shit. And now we have no confidence in the field goal unit because we don't have confidence that Camden Lewis can make field goals. Now he'll get another try to be able to get us on the board. Come on. Let's go. Come on, Camden. You're a senior. Come on. Channel your inner seagull. Channel your inner seagull. Let's go. Be like the ones before you. Relax. 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 Fourth and goal. Kick us up. There we go. Let's go. I'll take it. If he would have missed that, then it's like, what do we do? Then we can never even go for field goals. We just have to go for it no matter what because we can't count on him. Thank God he made that. Good. Good for him and good for his parents. You got a female fan talking shit to Camden Lewis's mom right there. They were going at it back and forth. Maybe not realizing that was Camden Lewis's mom. Let's go defense. I mean, we're going to need like a pick six, a fumble for a touchdown, or maybe a punt return, kick return. Something special with these unis. Maybe in the second half. But we need a spark, something different that doesn't really happen all the time. We already know we can go to Bo Nix, Troy Franklin, big touchdown. We're going to get one of those today. But something extra, something special to kind of commemorate these special unis. Number 16, Duke. Ken Jong is going to be rooting for Duke versus Florida State. Strength versus strength, baby. Let's go, baby. God, I love this time of year, man. Nothing is better than college football and NFL season. NASCAR's about to wrap up. Baseball's about to wrap up. NBA's just about to get started. NHL's already going. This is the best time of the year. Let's go, baby. Basa. Cameron Ward, 7 for 9. Let's go, Matt. We need this, bud. You got your duck chain on. If you don't got it on, go put it on. You got to rep every game, just like your boy. We didn't send it to you to Hawaii for it to sit on the shelf or in the closet. You got to rep it. There we go. Screen pass. There we go. Good. I'm glad you do. I know you do. I can't wait till Brian gets done with some of these new projects of merch that he's got going on. You'll know when I know because I'll be one of the first ones that have one, and I'm super excited about it. He sent me a video, but I can't talk about it yet because it's not at the duck store yet. Yeah, Eugene or Beaverton or Portland or anywhere. So it's in the final stages. Yeah, the paint splatter. That was the one that we wore last week. Yeah. Oh, we got a flag. Damn it. PI. Fuck. That's what makes us swaggy, though. It's not just the different colors, but it's the attention to detail. Like with the gloves, with the shoes, the socks, having that Nike money, that Phil Knight money. But like if you actually look at the different patterns, actually on the jerseys, on the cleats, on the gloves, it's all attention to detail for that swagger. Look good, feel good, play good, just like Dion said when he was playing. Why is he holding him right there? He wasn't probably going to even catch that anyways, idiot. Like, what are you doing? Golly. I like unique uniforms too. Unique gloves, unique cleats, unique uniforms, unique pants, unique helmets. Like I said, we're the innovators of college football. No foul in the defense. That must have been someone paid the ref because that clearly was. But then now they take it back. I don't know what the hell that was because that was a penalty on the Ducks. What are we doing? Yeah, Wemby is something special, man. Like if you can end up getting yourself Finley a Wemby rookie card, auto, like if you can get one, or try to get your hands on a Wemby rookie card, even if it's not autographed, you may want to try to do that within the first 2 years because if he ends up being as big as I think he is, it's going to end up going up in value. Like I'm going to try to get myself with one before it gets too late. I kind of slipped on the Shohei Ohtani train when all my other friends were getting them. I should have gotten one. And sometimes, it's like, okay, it might be a little expensive. You pay like 150 bucks, but if you pay 150 bucks now, and then 2 years later, it's worth 500. Yeah, it's going to be worth it. They're talking about if he was at the line of scrimmage or whatnot, but he had his arm wrapped around the player. He was giving the player a hug. Just give them the penalty. You know what I'm saying? It was a penalty. Give it to them. They can say whatever fucking wording they wanted. That was a penalty. Call it down the middle. Bucky Irving, good defense there by the Cougs. And we're at the end of the first quarter, knotted up at 3. Yeah, Wemby is a really fun to watch. Like I said, it has given me like a rebirth. Dame going to the Bucks, the Blazers with Scoot Henderson, Anthony Simon, Shaden Sharp, DeAndre Ayton, and then being able to see Wemby. I feel like I'm not interested in the NBA. I'm more of an 80s, 90s baby, so I love that era the best. And then after we got done with Kobe, rest in peace, Kobe, and Iverson and Shaq, I feel like the NBA, really hasn't been as good since, you could probably say since maybe 2010. Like it's been about 10 to 13 years where it's been like, it's been okay, but it's not like, oh, must see TV. But I think this year will be the first year in like 15 years for me that I am actually genuinely excited about the NBA as a whole. And I know there's going to be not a lot of defense, a lot of centers shooting threes, a lot of guys with load management, which sucks ass. But as far as like what we're seeing as players, and progression, I think it'll be fun. I am excited to cover some NBA this year. And I got the scoreboard and stuff, so I won't have to worry about that. So hopefully we'll get we'll start to gain a little bit of an NBA following too. I'm going to try to do NHL and NBA. Obviously, the NFL and college football comes first, but I got to try to put my hat, in many many things. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Sarah can't catch a break. Like every time she ends up getting a player that could really, really, help out or someone else, and then something else happens. Just injury after injury after injury. Sometimes you can't trust, when you got 3 or 4 guys that they may go to. It's like it's very risky when you got 3 or 4 running backs, especially if the coach likes to kind of bounce around. It's terrible for fantasy. Is this like the most that you've ever struggled in fantasy ever, besides a few other years in the past? But I feel that you probably have more knowledge of the game now than you did back then. It's just rough. But like I was telling you, last year you didn't make a whole lot of moves, and it didn't hurt you. And I told you, there's going to be a time if you don't make moves in the first 3 to 4 weeks, it's going to fuck you. You're going to get screwed. And you had relatively a majority of your players stayed injury free all year, and you were able to be right there with me all year last year. You barely made any moves all year, and you used most of your guys stayed healthy, and you were getting some big, big numbers from your starters. And, but then this year is the complete opposite. Injuries right out of the gates, and then not a lot of movement from you in the first 3 weeks. And then you tried to scramble, in week 4, week 5, week 6. But by then it's too late because the talent isn't there anymore. Because you're going to have really good players on the wire in the first 3 weeks that should have been drafted, but just didn't, or guys stepped up. So if you don't grab people in the first 3 weeks, you're going to be fucked, especially if you have injuries that come out of nowhere. So I know that'll be something that you'll be more active. I mean, look at me. I'm active every single week, no matter what my record is. I could be 5-1, I could be 1-5. I'm always going to be making moves. I like to be able to switch up the team every week too. It's everything is week to week. I don't just sit on guys. If I don't see production, you're off my team. I'm very, very I'm going to be a stickler. I'm only going to have people that I would consider playing every week on the roster, even the bench pieces. Like every piece should be a piece that you would consider starting. And if it's not, then your team isn't full strength. So 3rd down and 7. Come on, Bo. Shotgun set. Low snap for Nix. Floater. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Move the chains. Let's go. Touchdown incoming. There we go. Bo Nix with the pump fake. Keep your eyes downfield. Slings it back to the other side of the field. Not a whole lot there, though. Well, anytime we play Washington State, Matt, you already know what happens. There's a lot of drama usually when we go to Pullman. A lot of times we lose, or sometimes we come back like in a miracle, like last year when we were down by like 20 points with like 3 minutes left, and then we came back and won. Like crazy shit happens when we go to Pullman. It's very difficult to win there. But I feel like when we play at home against Washington State, it ends up being, just like it is there in Pullman. It's like the games are always going to be close, at least initially, for at least the first 2 or 3 quarters. 2nd and 7, and complete. Tez Johnson and Bo Nix, brothers from another mother. It's awesome. Let's go, baby. Nothing. Good defense by Washington State. Oh, late flag. Late flag. What is that about? Is that going to be on the Cougs? Or that might be a hold on the offensive line for the Ducks. Probably on us, I would assume. Illegal block in the black. Of course, it's on Oregon. Get those likes up. Likes, views, subs, donos. Everything matters. We gained a sub. $8.95 to 21,000. Both your QBs are on a bye week. Yeah, you gotta look ahead in fantasy. You always want to be looking ahead and look ahead in your schedule. Always. I got Mahomes and I got CJ Stroud. Fourth and 10. Fourth and 10, and we're going for it instead of punting. Good job, Dan Lanning, you idiot. Golly. Oh, pooch punt. Why didn't we do that earlier? Look at that punt. Why didn't we do that earlier when we had a chance to do that before? It's like Dan Lanning got my text message and actually listened. All right, Dan. Listen when I message you. Yeah, you and Sarah, you guys bit on that Calvin Ridley because NFL Network and everyone and their mama said Calvin Ridley is going to be a top 5 receiver. Calvin Ridley might be the number 1 receiver on the Jags. I didn't draft him for that reason because I knew they had way too many pieces in that lineup for them to choose one guy. Christian Kirk is there, Evan Ingram is there, ETN is there. It's like who is going to say that it was only going to be Ridley? That was definitely a very, very high risk. Because if you guys picked Ridley, that means you passed, on like Keenan Allen or like Mike Evans or someone like that to grab him. Now, if it would have worked out and he ended up being a top 5, top 10 receiver, great. You're probably in a better position than you are now. But you never can rely on the media to sway your decision on this guy's going to be the breakout star of 2023. And I feel that everyone that drafted him assumed that was going to be the guy that would be breaking out, and I knew he wouldn't. I think he's a great player, but he just doesn't get enough targets game in and game out to be able to be a significant fantasy piece, unfortunately. Now, the Ridley part is pain. You got, taking risks in fantasy, you don't want to do that in your draft. Like picking up Ridley on the wire, or something, if someone had him on the wire, but not drafting, especially when it ends up, you're drafting him, to be, like your number 2 receiver when there's other guys there. I feel pretty good that I can win the championship or get there, but Reflect's team has got like 8 running backs. So he's fucking just hoarding all of them. And the one part that my team lacks is running back. But as long as I get 10 and 10, I'll be fine. But so I got Patrick Mahomes, Rashad White, Jalen Warren, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mike Evans, Mark Andrews, Keenan Allen at flex, Bills D, and Maher, Rams kicker. So obviously with White and Warren, they're only going to get me usually like 7 to 12 points a game, somewhere in there, but sometimes that's enough because I went wide receiver heavy. And then my bench is David Montgomery, injured. And then I also had Ramondre Stevenson, but I cut him. And then I got Sam Laporta on the bench, Hollywood Brown on the bench, CJ Stroud with a bye, Jets T with a bye, Jeff Wilson and McLaughlin for insurance, and then Jay Jetta on IR. So I'm the only one in the league that has a number one pick, the first round pick that's on IR. And I'm still 5-1, so I'm not letting it affect me. But if I didn't draft wide receiver heavy with Amon Ra, Mike Evans, and Keenan Allen, and then getting Hollywood Brown for insurance, I would be fucked. So even though Jeff Wilson, McLaughlin, White, and Warren doesn't sound sexy, if they get me 10 points each, I can win, you know? And then I got Montgomery as my lead back once he comes back healthy. So, and I always switch up my players every week. So week to week, baby, week to week. Jets play the Giants, obviously next week. And even though they were on a bye, I looked ahead of the schedule. I'm like, oh, perfect. So that way I don't have to use the Bills D next week, and then I can have one of the top defenses, if not the top defense. That's why it's always important to look ahead in the schedule when you play fantasy to set yourself up for next week. So that way, even if you're not going to play the guy this week, but you have that defense sitting there for you next week, that way you don't have to battle with someone on the wire, to get that piece. And chances are you're not going to get that piece if you wait to the wire. Thinking ahead, baby. Yeah, sometimes I'll look even more than a couple weeks, but I'm always spying on everyone's team. I know who everyone has on their bench. I look to see what the schedule looks like for everybody. I look at the wire every day. I'm on the fantasy app 4 hours a day. I'm always looking on how can I improve my team. You know, and when I drop players, I don't drop shitty players. I just drop good players that I can't use at the moment, and then I'll let someone else scoop them up like Megan. So not every player that I don't really have dog shit players on my team ever. I just have to be able to look at value. Who gives me the best value moving forward? Or if I have a lack at running back, then sometimes I got to drop some pieces to give myself depth. There's not a whole lot on the wire, with running back. But if I can get 10 points out of Jalen Warren and if he ends up taking over as a starter for Najee Harris starting this week, that could be huge for me. Oh, big catch. Go, go, go. First down, Cougars. Move the chains. The great catch and a great throw by Cam Ward. Shouldn't have let that guy miss like that. Like I said, the Pac-12's got a lot of amazing athletes, man. I mean, this is the game that we could lose. Like I said, just because we're one of the best teams in the country, if we get a little lackadaisical and we have shitty coaching, shitty play calling, shitty kicker, I mean, what do you think is going to happen? We're a second half team, though, so we know we'll make the proper adjustments, but we have not played in honor of those 94 uniforms yet. We played like dog shit so far. Shotgun set. There we go. And like I said, we need a pick six, a fumble, a punch out, a punt return, or a kick return. We're going to need something big to win this game. Yeah, not even one so far yet. That's a little surprising. Hour and 24 minutes in, 20,000 plus subscribers, nothing. Second down and 6, 10 minutes to go. Shotgun set for Cameron Ward. Good protection up front. Oh, incomplete. I mean, what are we at? 20 subs or 20,000? Let's go, baby. Third down and 6. Oh, England's winning. We need a big play on defense here. Come on, Ducks. Golly. Nice sidearm. Not even wrapping up. Look at this. First down, Cougars. They're about to take the lead. They're about to score here. Not a field goal either. If you're going to tackle, you use your arms. You don't just use your body as a missile like that. That was stupid. Ward, touchdown, Cougars. That's what I'm saying. When you have problems with the team, you got to be able to address these issues and realize that, a lot of the teams in the Pac 12 can beat each other up. We have one of the most well balanced conferences in football. Oh, it's already a touchdown. Nice touchdown by the Cougs. Well, we had a touchdown that got called back, and then we lost the momentum, right? And with the hold, it's like Penn State. They had a fumble for a touchdown for 50 plus yards, got called back due to a hold. They never were able to recover. Extra point is up, and it's good. Sloppy. But remember, Matt, as Duck fans, we know we're a second half team. So I'm going to go grab a Snapple and check up on Paisley. Oh, yeah. That would be my number one choice. Unless we could get someone like that actually is a disciplined guy, like a Jim Harbaugh. I think a Jim Harbaugh would be great for the Ducks. Chip Kelly would be great, but I mean, he's already there at UCLA, so I just don't see it happening. You know what I mean? And I don't know if Chip would want to come back. But I think he was very well loved, and he could definitely bring us back to where we were. With him. I think that it would rejuvenate our franchise and whatnot. But I don't know if we're ever going to see Chip Kelly back on the Ducks. But if they fire him from UCLA and we get rid of Dan Lanning, or Kirby Smart decides to go somewhere else or whatever, and then Dan Lanning goes to Georgia, yeah, I would definitely love to have Chip. All right, come on, Ducks. You know why we're playing so shitty, Matt? Is because it's the hangover effect after losing that emotional game to Washington. Just because we're wearing these throwback jerseys doesn't mean that we're going to win by 40. You know, you have to understand what that did to us mentally. You know, they're still not over it. First down and 10. I mean, if you can't get going with if you can't come on with Bucky Irving, and you can't open up the running game, that's not going to open up the passing game. You got to give Washington State a lot of credit. They're playing well. Pac-12 got a lot of quarterbacks. James, good tackle there by the Cougs. Good discipline there. There we go, Bucky. First down, Ducks. Jackson Powers Johnson, the best center in college football, arguably, going deep and complete. Come on, Troy. Come on, Troy. Second down and 10, 10-3 Cougars. 7:42 left in the second quarter. Very sloppy game. Shotgun set. There we go. There we go. Go, James, go. Yes, sir. First down, Ducks. Move the chains. There we go. That was the best play call of the day so far. Oh, there we go. First down, Ducks. Move the chains. Now we're about to score. I mean, if Bucky Irving can't do it, mix it up a little bit. If there's stuff in him, go to Jordan James. I mean, too bad we don't got Noah Whittington. That would have been nice to have that three-headed horse, but he's out for the year. All right, here we go. Next, Bucky. Oh, yeah, Bucky can get in from here, too. Let's go. Touchdown, Ducks. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Yes, sir. Knotted up at 10. Pretty sloppy game so far, but it is what it is. Better than being down 10-0. Oh, puddles. Nice. Colts, baby. No way. They came back? Crazy. Well, I guess you can't get payback then on England. Touchback with 5:57 left in the second quarter. Ducks defense needs to step up. Let's go. Appreciate you. $1 holla, 99 to go. There we go. Good defense. Appreciate you. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $1 holla. 99 to go. Let me know what you want to do for photo. I got you. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's this. We're not at 20 subs. We're at 20,000. But it just seems like in 2023, I feel like we're sitting at like 20 subs. I mean, that's what feel like I get treated like. So, but it is what it is. You just got to be able to keep moving forward. Appreciate you. Little screen pass. There we go, Ducks. All right, talk soon. Second down and 10. Ward. Nice catch. Appreciate you. 99 to go. Uh-oh. Flea flicker. Wide open. And he dropped it. What happened to my hands? That could have been a tutty or a big, big play. It's always good when you can get the fan cash or like the freebie stuff through places that you shop at to be able to get some free stuff once in a while. Free food, free hats, free shirts. That's always money. 3:28 left in the second quarter. Shotgun set. Ward right through his fingers. There we go. The crowd has to get extra hyphy and involved. We have not looked good. The hangover from the Husky game is very evident. Get him! Wow, good tackle. Iowa offense sucks. Fourth down and 3. The Cougs going to go for it. All right, they call timeout to figure it out. Booker McFarland making my ears bleed. Terrible. Fourth down and 3. Oh, trick play. Yes. All right, time to score here. We're going to have to step up in the second half. If we don't make the proper adjustments, we're going to lose this game. Yeah, they didn't get baited on that trick play. All right, 2:30 to go. It'd be really nice if we could end up getting a tutty, but even a field goal will give us a little bit of relief. Irving, go Bucky. Oh, good tackle. Shotgun set for next. Man in motion. Go, Bucky. Go, baby. Go. Go. First down, Ducks. Let's go. We're about to score. Let's go. Finally. Ten rushes for 72 yards and a tutty. Let's go. Troy Franklin tutty at some point. Jordan James. There we go. I mean, we could probably hand off the football the next like 2 times and we're going to get in. Second down and 2. I mean, the last thing you want to do is force it into Troy Franklin and get an interception. I mean, keep pounding the rock. We can score by just running the football. Go to James and go to Bucky Irving. They pass it, and it almost got picked. Idiot. And their flag comes out. And now we're going to run it, and then we're going to score. I feel like that ESP, it's like I already know what they're thinking, these coordinators and whatnot, but the Troy Franklin touchdown will come in the second half. You don't need to force it here. Just, you can, you have to know your team, and obviously, I know it was PI and all, but just run the football. Pass was a little bit behind him anyways. Bo with the keeper. There we go. There we go. Nice job, Bo. All you got to do is Bo leave, baby. Good decision there with the keeper. There you go, Bo. Extra point is up, and it's good. There we go. Finally. Started slow. I mean, we're going to win this game, but it's definitely too close for comfort. Those Ducks headpieces are dope with the green and the white. Yards per play, 9.8. Is that good? Replaced 4 starters out of 5, and we've only given up 4 sacks all year. Is that good? Kind of good. Yeah, give Cameron Ward some credit. He's actually played pretty well today. We're very deep at quarterback in the Pac-12. Bo Nix, his money. Wow, what a catch. Incredible catch by Kyle Williams. Hit him. First down, Cougars. Move the chains. First down and 10. Cougars are already driving again, trying to tie this up at halftime. And complete. Come on, Ducks. Second down and 10. Play some defense. Shotgun set for Ward. Little bootleg. Scrambles to his right. Keeps his eyes downfield. Floater. He's got really good vision, Ward. You know, he's like one of those quarterbacks that's kind of like middle of the pack that doesn't really get talked about too much, but I like what I see from him. I can see why they're 4-2. Makes you kind of wonder, how did they lose to one of the Arizona teams and UCLA early on? Like, this team looks much better than those teams. I mean, UCLA at times looks decent, but come on, Ducks. I can't wait for the day until Oregon actually has a defense. Third down and 4. Shotgun set. Ward, wheel route, bootleg, looking, throws it away. Good decision there by Ward. 20-7 Tennessee. Good for them. But that's only in the first half, though. So you already know Alabama is going to come back in the second half, but hopefully Tennessee will be able to hold on. All right, Washington State going for a field goal. Field goal up, and it's good. 17-10 Ducks. And it's good. All right, 1 second left. Yeah, well, anybody can beat Bama and Georgia this year. I mean, I don't think hell, if Texas can go into Alabama and win, Alabama is no longer the powerhouse that they used to be. I mean, since Georgia overtook them, they haven't been the same. Alabama is definitely vulnerable, and they don't have the same type of players anymore. They still have NFL players, but they're not as dominant as they used to be. Like nobody fears Alabama anymore. Nobody even fears Georgia anymore. How times can change in a matter of a couple years. Like Alabama, 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 Georgia, Georgia, and then now it's like no one gives a shit about the SEC. Like we still know they're great, but Big Ten and Pac-12 definitely got a little bit more of the love in the pub this year. Halftime, baby. A little squibber. Justin Herbert's brother. All right, well, at least we're up by 4. All right, I'm going to look to see what other game is going on. I'm going to go say hi to Paisley. I'm going to turn on, I don't know what I want to turn on. UFC 294, maybe? Alameda and Lewis, Jones and Miocic, Allen and Craig, Edwards and Covington. Okay. What else do we got here? Texas and Houston. I'm going to turn on. Is Tennessee and Alabama halftime? All right, I got Tennessee and Alabama up. All right. I'm going to go visit Paisley and use the restroom here real quick, and I'll be back in a second. All right, we got 8 seconds left. 20-7. Tennessee, another Alabama injury. All right, give me a couple minutes, and I'll be back. Twenty to 7, Tennessee over Alabama. All right, I'm going to play some Vice City here for a few minutes. Elliot in the building. What's good? What's good, brother? I got to get in my video games in it whenever I can, especially if Paisley is going to be laying on the couch. 17-13 Ducks. How are you, Elliot? What's good, brother? What's going on with you this weekend, Elliot? Anything? See if I can drive around and maybe I'm not going to do any missions or anything on Vice City, but I'll load my old file from like 13 years ago and then go mob around for a little bit. Shador, yeah. Especially now, with the Bucks and the Falcons going to be playing each other this weekend. I mean, both of those teams might end up finishing ahead of you. So I mean, it might be a blessing in disguise of not being as good this year, but you guys aren't going to be able to get Shador Sanders. You know what I mean? I don't think that they would look at him. You guys have more problems with the offensive line than replacing Shador with Carr. Shador going to the Falcons would make more sense than Shador going to the Saints based on who they have. But, baseball game last night with the friends. Nice. 17-13 Ducks. All right, my file is loading here. Loading the data or data. Ohio State, Penn State was a defensive battle, let me tell you. Right there, that fumble, that like 60-yard fumble recovery for a score, but it comes back with a hole. That's tough. All right, let me load my file here. Distribution. October 10th, 2010. Yeah. Well, you already got Taysom Hill and you got Jameis Winston there as well, and you already paid that money for Carr. I don't think anyone's going to want Carr after what they've seen from him this year. It's a worse version, than even the Raiders. So it's like if he was like a 10, 11, 12 quarterback with the Raiders, what is he with the Saints? Like 20, 25? Like, I don't think anyone's going to want him. Honestly, if you guys want to win, you should just start Taysom Hill. I would just dump Carr, just cut him. You know what I mean? He's not worth being on the roster, but you still have offensive line problems too. And you got to get rid of the coach and the OC. So, I mean, you got a lot of fucking problems to fix. Otherwise, unless you want to see Tampa Bay and the Falcons, being ahead of your Saints, I doubt that's what you want to see. So, all right, let me get this car. What is this? What do I got here? A little Corvette? Get out of here. Oh, all right, here we go. Maybe I can get some Michael Jackson going on here. Let's see. Wave 103. Maybe Wild Style. It's like when you haven't played, video games in a minute, and then you end up getting into it. It's like you need that, especially if you're a gamer. It's like to go a long period of time without gaming at all is weird. Feels good though to be able to get back into the mix. I like just driving around. Trying to find those Lambos and those Corvettes. Ooh. What is this? See you later. I hope you crash. See you later. Right in front of the cop, too. All right. People on the sidewalk, watch for your life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there goes my hood. Oh, ammunition. Perfect. Let's go to ammunition. Let's see what you got up in here. All right, what do we got? Colt 45, an Ingram Mac 10, shotgun, Ruger, a body armor. Boom. What you gonna be about this? Oh, cops are on me now. Ooh, motorcycle. Oh shit. I thought it was a motorcycle. It's like a little ass scooter. Go, baby. All right. Now that's like a crotch rocket. No. Get out of here. God, this cop is just not letting me go. Get off of me. Shooting at me. Get off of me. All right. Back alley. Back alley boy. Ooh, what's this? Oh, these cops don't give up. Taxi. Get out of the car. There we go. Whip it. It's crazy how many stars come after you after just 2 stars. Go, baby. I should probably do some missions at some point, but not right now. Oh, now I'm on 2 wheels. Let's go. Oh, I'm in the parking garage now. Oh, now I'm at someone's mansion. Get off me. Oh, what is that? Whoa. Oh, a cop punched me. Oh, I got busted. Busted boy. $1. Is that good? Deuce right, 30, rock right, read, inside zone read, or deuce right, 30, rock right. Slot goes bubble X, wide receiver will block, and the slot will run in the bubble, baby. Now I got to load that file again. Monday night football. Sunday night will be good, though. Dolphins and Eagles. I don't know if the Dolphins are going to be able to beat Philadelphia and in Philadelphia with those Kelly Greens, though. But they have a chance, especially with that offense being as crazy as it is. 17-13 Ducks. All right, I got a machete. Got some I got a cop that's like right there. Let's try to find a crotch rocket or something. Crotch rockets are always really fun. Get out of the car. All right, I just got a Corvette. Oh, is that Michael Jackson? I got to go back to that. Oh, Jesus. Where'd you learn to drive? Bastard. What do you want? Now your car's on the side. How do you like that? Punk? Huh? That's the best part about the game, too, and you can end up doing old school 80s songs like Michael Jackson in the 80s and 90s. Soundtrack is money. Probably a couple more minutes, and then we'll be ready for the second half. God, cops are just so fierce in this. It's like 2 stars acting like I got fucking the fibbies all over me. Get off me. Get him. How about I hop in this Corvette? See you later, bud. Stinger. Oh, Mustang. Nonstop rap music. There's money everywhere. 3 stars. Get in the Ford Bronco. Be like OJ. OJ all day. That car is way too slow. Flat tire. Oh, yeah. 4 stars. 5 stars. I'm about to die. Everybody's blowing up. I'm just throwing bombs everywhere. Good luck. Oh, there I go. All right. Let me put this away. All right. Second half about to start. All right. 17-13. Molly McGrath. Let's go, baby. We got a false start. Good job, Ducks. Nice false start. Come on, Cornelius. All right, first down and 15. Shotgun set for Bo Nix. There we go. Patrick Herbert with the catch. Justin Herbert's brother. Nice job, Bo. Keep it moving, Bubba. All you got to do is believe. Second down and 8. Shotgun set. Nice fake. Troy Franklin, baby. There we go. First down, Ducks. Move the chains. If you're going to give him the inside, Troy's going to eat you up every time. Let's go. First down and 10. Man in motion. Play action fake. He's got a man. Throw it. All right, we'll take a little check down. Nice job, Bucky. $11 for 15, 171 yards, no tutties, but no picks, no mistakes. He's got a rushing TD so far. Oh, going deep. Oh, incomplete. Yeah, you already knew Bama was going to score in the second half. Certain teams are, going to be second half teams, and they might be getting their ass kicked for the first half, but they'll make, Saban will rip into them at halftime, and you want to make the NFL or not, you got to win this game. Third down and 5. Shotgun set. Cougs show blitz. Let's see if they bring it. Next. Fuck. Troy Franklin. What happened to my hands? Come on, Troy. I mean, the whole vibe, of the Ducks out there, it's like, that's a bad pass by Bo Nix, but it's just, I don't know. It doesn't really feel like we want to win. It's like we're still hung over on that Husky loss. But it's going to get much, much worse if we lose games like this after losing to the Huskies. I mean, hell, if we're going to lose, I don't want to lose again unless we lose to USC, not to the Cougars. No disrespect, but can't lose back-to-back weeks to both Washington teams. But shit better improve, or we might. We're only up by 4. And the home field advantage has not been really present. Crowd has been pretty quiet. I think I'm going to put the Bama Tennessee game. I think it's starting to get interesting now, so I should put that on. That's the only other game that's really worth a damn right now, right? All right, I got it on now. Regular season game or like championship or a playoff game or just regular season? I mean, you tell me, Matt. I mean, we're watching the game here together. I mean, does it feel like we're one of the best teams in the Pac-12 and one of the top teams in the country? Like sometimes when you lose a big game, it takes a while for you to be able to, kind of get back on track. And we don't really look, and it doesn't feel like we really want it. It's like like the Huskies, the Michael Penix Jr., which I predicted were going to beat us. They ripped our heart out like Mortal Kombat Kano style. Fatality, finish him, and we haven't recovered. It's like we're out there, but it's like almost like we're going through the motions. Like if you've ever played sports, you know what that's like. When you're just kind of going through the motions. This team has the ball, we have the ball, but there's not really a sense of urgency or pride. It's just you're out there. People are collecting a paycheck. People are just clocking into work and clocking out. Like no one, they don't care. Like things need to improve. I mean, it just takes a couple big plays to get back to where we need to go. But, it's like the crowd needs to be into it. The play calling needs to be better. Obviously missing that field goal and then, going for it on fourth down. It's like, you don't want the games to be decided by the coach or the play caller. If that ends up happening, we're going to lose by 90% of the time if it comes down, that to the coach or the OC. We have to make sure that it's not up to them to win or lose the game. Otherwise, if it ends up being up to someone like that, then you already know what happens. Joe Milton, I like him. Jalen Milroe, probably the best quarterback they have on the roster, but he's kind of booty-osed. He's nowhere near being as good as previous Alabama quarterbacks, even though some Alabama quarterbacks have been good. Some of them have been okay. Mac Jones is obviously garbage in the NFL, but in college he was halfway decent because he had a really good supporting cast around him. But Milroe definitely should have never got benched earlier in the year. They should have just rolled with him. It's more than just him not being good. It's a collection of these pieces on Alabama. I got both games on now. 2014 Tennessee. Go Bulls. Hopefully they win. Get him. Sack him. There we go. 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a duck sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Come on, Ducks. Second down and 12. Pump fake. Get him. Almost picked. What happened to my hands? Come on, baby. All the fans have been drinking since freaking like 7 a.m. You know what I mean? Let's go. Beer lines at halftime because they don't let you go back to your car anymore because people acted a fool and they made the rule change. But they used to let you go back to your car during halftime so you could get lit, lit, lit. Not anymore. And the beers are hella overpriced. And I'm not sure if they give you more than one or two at a time. So I think two is the max. Bassa. Good stop. Go Ducks. Go Vols. A Bama cheerleader was cute. All right, Bama, I see you. Fourth down and 4. Cougs with the punt. 5-1 Ducks, 4-2 Cougs. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Don't lose it. Don't get it stripped. Seventeen, 13, Oregon. Bo Nixon, an FBS record with his 54th career start at quarterback today. He passed 5 players with 53 starts. Who are they? Let's go, baby. And I know we're ahead. There we go. And we can pound the rock, with James and Irving. Right. But we eventually need to be able to get the crowd into the game, and that will be going to Troy Franklin for a big touchdown. That'll get the crowd going. Colt McCoy, Kellen Moore, Jake Browning, Clayton Thorson, and Sam Hartman. Second down and 1, short of the first down marker. I mean, I get it if we're up by like 17 and we want to run the ball in the third and fourth quarter and bleed the clock out. But when you're only up by 4, you got to be able to you got to be able to open it up a little bit with the play calling. I feel like we're very vanilla. Injury timeout. Volunteers with the punt to Bama. A good punt all the way down to the 29. Hicks with an injury for the Cougs. was a good punt. I don't know how many yards that punt was for Tennessee, but 60 plus. And then it got a really good bounce there for another like 10 or 15. So when you watch Alabama's offense too this year, it doesn't look like what we're used to seeing. All right, Bo. 3rd and 1. Halfback toss. There we go. First down, Ducks. Let's go. Fresh set of downs. Now we need the crowd to kind of get. You got to get people to get things going. Everyone can't just be sitting on their hands and, or just being faded and not knowing what the hell's going on. You got to be able to get the crowd going into this game, too. You let the Washington State Cougs hang around, we will lose. Play action fake. Screen pass. Go. 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 Let's go. There we go. There's that Bucky Irving, baby. Let's go. About time, man. It's like, when you have a good football team, but then you're just playing so vanilla in the play calling, the lack of execution, the lack of focus, a missed field goal early on, going forward on 4th down when you probably should have just hit a pooch punt. Extra point is up, and it's good. Now we're up 24-13, and then obviously we get one more score, then the fucking game is over. If it goes up 31-13, they're not coming back. They're not coming. I mean, they're still in range here, but anytime you get down 31-13 and you look up at the scoreboard, you're just like, we're fucked. Like, so we just need to see what we can do on defense. And I mean, I would prefer it being a little bit closer of a game, like they get a touchdown in 24-20, but if we start mastering them, it ain't going to hurt my feelings. Nice run after the catch and good blocking. Bucky Irving is a stud. S-T-U-D, stud. I mean, it might not be LaMichael James, Kenyon Gardner, and D'Anthony Thomas, but I'll take it. But if you think about it, Bucky Irving, Noah Whittington, and James, I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, it's not going to be as high end as those three with LaMichael and Kenyon Gardner and D'Anthony. I mean, I don't know if we're ever going to have players like that ever again, unless Chip Kelly comes back and he can recruit those players to come play for us. Because LaMichael James, D'Anthony Thomas, and Kenyon Barner are usually guys that would go to like USC or Ohio State or Michigan or Bama, or Clemson, back, when those other teams were better. So we were definitely very blessed to at least have some elite players in that Chip Kelly era. And coincidentally, some of those guys are my favorite. So, I got Joey Harrington and Justin Herbert at quarterback, Marcus Mariota, and then I'm a big LaMichael and a big D'Anthony Thomas guy. And Haloti Ngata. That's passed by Milrow. First down, Alabama. Move James. 24-13. This is a real key point in the game to see where our defense is and where we're going moving forward here in the second half. Nice play call. Nice little flip right there. Oh, baby. I like it. I wish we were that creative on that little play call with that little flip. Very high-end offensive-oriented kind of mind. That's kind of like a Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay play call. I like it. I wish we were not so vanilla. Sometimes I want my cookies and cream. I want my mint chocolate chip. I don't want my vanilla ice cream, and I don't like my playbook being vanilla either. Vanilla can hit from time to time, but I don't want it in my playbook. Open it up a little bit. 2nd down and 2. First down, Cougars. I mean, if you were Washington State, obviously if I was coaching them, running the RPO with Cameron Ward would be ideal. Obviously, he can run, he can catch, he keeps his eyes downfield. He isn't a me-first type of player. If you run that type of offense, I mean, they only got 31 rushing yards right now. You could get a hell of a lot more. Help your quarterback out. Ward? Look at Ward. See? He's awesome at extending plays. First down, Cougars. He's got really good patience. And you got to be able to recognize who you're going against. And if you're not able to get picked and you're not able to get sack lunches, and you don't want anything to go behind you, so you want to let everything come in front of you. But if you dink and doink 5 yards here, 8 yards here, 13 yards here, they're still moving the chains. You got to be able to figure out how to be able to stop this. And Washington State, obviously, if they need to go pass heavy, I mean, Oregon isn't doing a very good job getting sack lunches or picks right now or contested footballs. No PBUs, no pass breakups. Let's go. First down and 10. Ward with the run himself. I mean, I'm not a hater. You know how it goes. I always will show love to every team. Every player, on any team. It doesn't matter if it's going against my team or not. I'm always going to call it how I see it. And I think that, you need to have more people on TV and podcasts and YouTube and Twitch channels kind of point things out like that. Because if you're not familiar, like anyone can listen to a biased stream. I mean, hell, you got plenty to choose from that are on TV and podcasts now. But it's kind of refreshing to be able to talk about players and just greatness and not really caring what team they're on. Regardless if they're popular or not popular, they're loved or they're hated. There's great players everywhere. It's like, why are we hating on a great player? Stupid. Josh Kelly with the catch. I mean, Cameron Ward, you got Cameron Ward, you got Cameron Rising on Utah who's been hurt, Bo Nix, Caleb Williams, Shedeur Sanders. I mean, you think about all the different quarterbacks that you got floating around. I mean, there's a lot of talent. And Cameron Rising isn't really being talked about because of his injury with his knee. And Cameron Ward barely gets talked about, but he'll get talked about more in this game, even if they lose. It's like if they had a better running back and better wide receivers and a couple more offensive linemen, like Washington State's offense would be even more explosive. That's incomplete. Like a couple more offensive linemen for Washington State, a stud running back, and one other receiver. It's like Ward has got, good eyes. He ain't a ball hog. He ain't a me player. But it also shows you, too, on the flip side, the Ducks do not have a lot of NFL talent on the defensive side of the ball, or overall. If we're actually being honest, if we're actually looking, you got Bo Nix, you got the center, Jackson Powers, you got, Troy Franklin, Bucky Irving. But it's like, the defense, we don't have no Thibodeaux. There's no McKinley's at safety, no Christian Gonzalez. Like, the defense is pretty weak. It's like we don't have a whole lot of talent there. We have a lot of young players, but how many of those players that are on the Ducks right now are going to make the NFL, either this year, after the year is over, or in the next few years? I mean, there's not a lot of guys that really stand out for this Oregon Duck defense. And when Oregon Duck defense is good, that's when we end up being in the top 10 or top 5. And it's actually a legit ranking, but I don't know, man. LaPointe, I know you're trying to do your thing at D coordinator, but we need better players. And I know they are bringing in some blue chippers coming in next year. We just need this Dan Lanning name to get the Dan Lanning defensive players that were supposed to come to us from Georgia and Alabama. Like, we need to start getting those transfers and those people that play in the SEC. And instead of being on the bench and sitting behind the starter, you can start on Oregon. Get him! Yeah! It's 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a duck sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Good defense there. 4th and 12. This guy's money. Kick is up, and it is good. 24-16. There we go. Good for them. So that way it ends up not being a blowout, because one more score, 31-13, then, I guess we can rest easy as Duck fans. But even me as being a Duck fan, I wouldn't enjoy us winning 50-3 every game. It's like at some point, the wins get a little ridiculous, and it's like you want to be able to see like some competition and actually feel that you have a chance to lose. See the coaches actually earn their paycheck. instead of just relying on the great talent just to run plays. Come on, Milton. Did he take a sack lunch? Yeah, he did. I was going to say, why are Alabama players celebrating? I just looked down, talking about sack lunch like a motherfucker. There we go. There we go. Hell yeah. First down, Volunteers. Move the trains. Go Vols. Peyton Manning, T. Martin, Alvin Kamara. First down and 10. Play action fake for Milton. I love Milton's ballsiness. He just throws it deep. He don't give no fucks. As long as you're not getting too many picks off that mentality. But he's got a pretty good skill set. So it's like if he goes deep and he gets picked, you're not really mad. But he'll go deep and he'll make big plays too. It's only a problem, when you go deep and you're like, oh golly, like what kind of throw is that? There you go. Keep name dropping. Reggie White, Jason Witten. There you go. Sometimes you don't need to look up on Google, Yahoo, or Bing. You just remember. Plus with Reggie White being one of the GOATs, right? Tennessee injury there by Mincy, 6'6", 337. Could you imagine being 6'6", 337? Like, I remember when I was growing up, and I had dreams to play in the NBA or to play like professional sports. And I was very competitive. And I had a dad that would play outside, basketball, baseball, football, whatever, hours, even in the rain and snow. And then you start to go from like junior high, winning championships, you feel good about yourself. But then you go to high school where all the middle schools merge, right? And then you go play like in a tournament, and then you start to realize you go against these teams that got like fucking NBA players in high school or even guys that are going to go play college ball. And then you start to realize, man, this 6 foot ain't going to cut it. I remember, being young, I was like praying, because like my mom is 5 and my dad is 6, and my mom is Japanese and 5, and my dad is like 6 foot like Santa. And I thought, hell, I better not be 5'5" and under. I was like, I gotta be my dad's height or higher. So I already knew like 6'6" to 6'8", my dream wasn't gonna happen. But I said, you know what? If I can't be 6'6" to 6'8" like a Jordan, if I can't be that, then let me at least be 6 like my dad. And the sports gods listen. So definitely could have been 5'1", 5'2", or 5'5". And there's nothing wrong with that if that's your height. But that was just something for me that I always wanted to be tall. But then I already knew with my voice because so many people pointed it out, and I just already knew I had the love for sports and that passion for reading and film study and whatnot. And I was also very good at doing phone sales for big corporations where they would be like, if you don't hit your goal in a week, you're fired. It's a lot of pressure. So it's like not only do you have to have a good voice, but you have to have a good skill set, to be able to sell without being a liar, and to be able to set people up and for them to like you and trust you and be able to buy from you by just your voice over the phone instead of face to face. Anybody can sell face to face at like a car lot or insurance or anything like that, but the best salesmen are on planet Earth are the ones that are on the phone, especially for the bigger companies because they can't see you. They just have to feel with their intuition and in their brain, they have an idea of what you look like and how you sound and they can kind of get a vibe or aura about you if you trust this person or if they're just a smooth talking car salesman trying to do phone sales. You can tell the difference. Eric Berry. This one is I gave away all my other duck chains. I had 5 or 6 other ones. I had yellow, green, white, chrome, pink, black, and I gave away all the 5 duck chains at the game. So this is the only one I didn't bring. And this is a one of one. It's a highlighter yellow duck based off the game that we wore when we went to the Natty, based off the gloves that I'm wearing, and that Natty when we had the Michael James and we lost to Cam Newton. So this is a one of one. It just gets a little distorted on the screen because I have a green screen, so you can't really see how highlighter yellow green it is. But it's a one of one. So no, it's not available in the stores. He custom made it, just one piece. So, but the new thing that he's working on, ooh man, I can't wait to show it off once I get it. Let's go, Taz. Yeah, and like I said, I got a lot of other jerseys and clothes and duck merch, and I got beanies that light up with Christmas lights. I got fucking green apple hoodies, and I fucking got a Herbert and all these other jerseys and other like hoodies and cool hats. But again, with the green screen, it just it'd all be distorted, or I would just be a talking head, like literally. Go baby, go! Let him go! Oh, that could have been bad. Like you see the picture that I have in my profile, with those green and neon, neon yellow greenish, with the winged logo. That's from 2011. That's from the Rose Bowl. When we ended up going against Russell Wilson that particular year. And the gloves that I have here, the gray ones, these are actually game used from the Natty, and these were the very first wing gloves that Oregon ever wore. They had one pair in 2009. Go, go, go! Where they debuted the sticky gloves and they were gray, and we debuted them against Oregon State, and it was just a big black O on it, and then a large O, no wings. And then when we went to those wing style jerseys, which are very fire in my opinion, that really put us on the map with Chip. And then they decided to debut these ones in the national championship against Cam Newton. I even got the original box that hung in the locker room. Go, Bucky, go! Go, Bucky, go! The 10, the 5, touchdown! Ducks, baby! Let's go. Starting to run away with it now. Here we go. This is what we expected in the first half. But Ducks fans, we have to be patient. Sometimes the players are there, but the play calling isn't, or the execution or focus isn't. Of course, we know we have James and we got Bucky Irving. Noah Whittington got hurt, and you got Bo Nix. You got Troy Franklin. We got guys. We got guys that can score. So we got a flag on the play. Were you guys able to see the Mamba that I have sewn in on the back on this jersey? Sometimes I don't know where the camera is at and stuff, but yeah, this one is nice with the custom, and then I got the LaMichael Natty jersey where I got the James sewn at the same place, that custom, and then the Joey Harrington Nike, that actually has the Harrington sewn in through Nike, which is uber rare. Nice cut by Irving. Yeah, I got the Bama. They're on the 20, the 10. Big stiff arm. I'm about to score. Touchdown, Bama. Bama's a second half team like Oregon. Most really good teams are. Iowa, yeah. Well, remember, you never really have been known as an offensive team. It's always been defense, defense, defense. Until you actually can get a very good core of quarterback, running back, couple wide receivers, tight ends on the regular, and then getting an amazing O line. But it has to really be the quarterback. It has to be one of the top 10 in the country. And if you don't have a top 10 quarterback at Iowa, you're probably not putting up a shitload of points. That's got to be depressing. But defense, always lets you hang around. So if you're going to be there with like Wisconsin and Michigan State and some of those teams, typically you'll end up being one of the better, you and Wisconsin may not be Michigan and Ohio State, but you're like underneath, you know. So even, yeah, got to get rid of him. You already said that last year. Fire his ass. Dame Dollar. Looking at scores. All right, 24-20, Bama. Obviously, I'm watching that game also right now, so I got two games on. 31-16 Ducks, 24-20 Bama. Missouri, 27-9 over South Carolina, which they should. They're 20th in the country. Tulane, 28-21 over North Texas. Iowa, 10-9. That's got to be miserable watching that. The 24th, though, so at least you got to be proud about that. Texas tied up with Houston, which is a little surprising. 21 all. And then Ohio State 20-12 over Penn State. Figured it would be something like that. I thought it would be a little closer. 2017. That's what I was thinking. Oklahoma 31-29 over UCF, sixth-ranked team in the country, beating Texas in that Red River shootout, catapulted them into top six status. Air Force 17-6 over Navy. And then we got North Carolina, Virginia coming up here at 3:30 in 20 minutes. Ole Miss and Auburn, Michigan State in a drubbing. Duke, Florida State hopefully will be fun. Utah, USC will be the best game for the rest of the day. That one will be good. There is an upset alert for USC. Utah could win that. But if they had Cameron Rising, then I'd be like, ooh, but they don't have them. If they had Cameron Rising, I could be like, that is a real good chance of an upset. But if you don't got Cameron Rising, then you would assume that Caleb will bounce back. He still may throw a pick or two, but he won't throw three and look as terrible as he did last week. At least you wouldn't think so. Because if that happens again and they lose, or if that happens again and they win, then Michael Penix Jr. is getting the Heisman. You got to be able to play well to be able to keep yourself up in the consideration, with Penix and a few of those other guys. And you won it last year, so there's a standard. You got to play well. All right. This Bama-Tennessee game is good. If the Cougars score here, then we got ourselves a game. It's going back and forth. And then if we can get it within one score, but let's see what kind of play calling they have, and let's see if our defense wakes up. I'm still waiting for that fumble for a touchdown, that punch out, that Charles Peanut Tillman, right? Or a pick six. But if you notice, Cameron Ward does not throw too many footballs to get pick six. He's very efficient. Looks for the check down guy. You're not going to take too many, dumb risks and chances, and that's why the pick six is probably not going to happen against this team. But it could, but not in this quarter. It would be in the fourth quarter if it happens. Second down and 3. Efficient dog, Cameron Ward dog. So many Camerons. And then we ended up doing Utah and Florida. I actually enjoyed that particular matchup, but it wasn't really what Finley wanted to see with Florida. But Florida football will always be kind of dear to my heart. And like I said, I really enjoyed Swamp Kings. That shit me got really motivated, wanted to run through a wall. And I will always root for Florida football. I would always root for them to do well. But also it shows you, it depends on who the coach is to go from, mediocrity to championship greatness. Look at that. Almost got sacked lunch and still was able to find a guy. Ward is such a calm, cool, collected. He's just, nothing phases him. Gardner Minshew, Washington State Coug. Kind of not doing that great for the Colts, but normally considered a top 5 backup, but hopefully he does better as the year goes on. Everyone loves the mustache. Yeah, and it was before, the Swamp King era. I fell in love with it with Steve Spurrier. That really, that spread offense with Danny Werfel, Ike Hilliard, Jaquez Green, Rydell Anthony. If they don't have those players, on top of Sapp, coming from the U and Florida State with Derek Brooks, that was a big part of those 3 schools, Florida, Florida State, and the U, right? Having Warren Sapp get drafted and Derek Brooks, already having John Lynch there, getting Rondé Barber, Mike Allstott, but getting Ike Hilliard, Jaquez Green, and Rydell Anthony and Jaquez Green to go over at receiver and then get Ike Hilliard to go to the Giants and eventually come to Tampa. That was a big special moment for me to show that, those receivers coming to Tampa, made it easier for me to be like, yeah, I want to be a Tampa fan and this will be my team forever, even though I knew that they weren't going to pan out in the NFL. But they were just cool Florida Gator receivers, and that was a really cool time to watch. Work done, back with Florida State. Florida State actually fucking meant something back then. They were like the teams of the 90s, like, Nebraska was good in the early 90s, and then Florida State were like, oh, like Charlie Ward and either or you don't. You either grew up and you know what I'm talking about in the 92, 93, 94, 95, 96 era, or you don't. So, and Spurrier was the coach of obviously of the Gators, and we know how great he was, and starting quarterback for the Buccaneers too. So when we first started off as a franchise, so lots of connections between Tampa Bay and Florida, and sometimes the players don't pan out, but that's all right. Like LaMichael James and D'Anthony Thomas didn't pan out, but I love them as if they did. They're Oregon legends. It's sad they didn't pan out, but their size, as explosive as they were in college, you knew that the chances are they weren't going to be able to make it long term because of their body size. They were just so small. I mean, I was hoping D'Anthony would be like Tyreek, but I knew. But I still rock the jerseys and support those guys through and through. First down and 15. Shotgun set. Ward, good play action. Steps up in the pocket. Look at this. Running lane. First down, Cougars. Good play there. Like it shows you when the Ducks defense gives up plays like that, that lets you know that we're not a real contender. Like if we had Kayvon Thibodeau and McKinley or like Christian Gonzalez, the defense feels stronger. We feel like we can beat anyone. We feel we can score on defense. But when you look at this team, nothing ever tells you like, yeah, we're going to get the pick six, or yeah, you know what I mean? Like if it happens, awesome, but we don't expect it because we don't have the personnel. We don't have the talent. This team is definitely not what we're used to. Like normally we don't even have any NFL players on defense anyways, but every once in a while we'll have one, maybe two or three on a single team. But then you go from that, like with Thibodeau and Gonzalez and McKinley at safety, and then to like, we feel like, I don't even know if we got anything worthwhile over there. Like there's nothing consistent that shows up every game. That's not a good feeling. And that's how you give up yards like that. A big yard run by Ward right up the middle, no spy, just walking for like 18. Come on. He actually could have went a little bit further if he wasn't smart. If he was a ballsy fucker, he could have fucking dove head first or got another 7 yards there. Hit him with a little shimmy, a little shake. But he's too smart for that. So. All right, into the third quarter, 31-16, Oregon. Got my duck helmet. I have actually a full-size Joey Harrington era duck helmet. But if I wear it, I have to take out the pads in the inside because it's really tight on my face. But I'm not sure if I don't know if I could talk into the microphone as well with the helmet on, but you might see your boy with the helmet on at some point. Maybe for Oregon State. But it's one of my favorite helmets. You want to see some swag? Matt? Swag. That's the helmet I got. That's when we got on the map. That's when the Oregon Ducks actually were worth a damn. Right there. That's what started it, and that's what changed it. Mike Bellotti finally getting the right type of NFL players. And if you go back and look in, 99, 2000, 2001, that was the best teams that we ever had, even over the LaMichael and D'Anthony teams. Those teams are really, really good too. But we had more NFL players top to bottom on that team. We had literally quarterback, right? Two running backs that went to the NFL, multiple receivers that went to the NFL, multiple tight ends that went to the NFL, multiple offensive linemen, multiple defensive linemen, and the whole secondary for the Ducks actually made the NFL. I mean, think about if we had shit like that now. We actually had Walter Thurman and like Patrick Chung. Like they were in their prime playing fucking together, and like for that little 3-year stretch, like having NFL players on every level, Moretti, Wesley Mallard, NFL, like, Kevin Mitchell, like undersized, linebacker, but he actually made plays at triple M's. Like, that's what made me love Duck football. I watched in the 80s and 90s, but I didn't really fall in love with it until the Joey Harrington era. That is really what made me fall like super deep in love with this team. And I knew at that point that, putting an extra effort to go to games and, get the merch and, like as my favorite team, like I love the Bucks, Mariners, Blazers, but it's nothing like this. This is especially going to the games. So he said, sports gods bring more pressure to Cam Ward. It shows you, too, you don't have to be the most explosive weapon, right? But if you just are smart and don't turn over the football and throw dumb, passes into traffic, into double, triple coverage, you can be considered efficient. Get him! Oh, he avoids the sack lunch. How did that happen? Wow. Schoolyard football, he said, in the backyard with a Nerf football. And this jersey is the one that I got, the sewn. Everyone knows about the black and the green and the yellow uniform, but this one is the swaggy of the swaggy, bro. O on the front, O on the sides. We started to kind of change the game here. Swag. The swag has been upgraded. The swag fest. So it's always good too, because like I'm like your dad, so I can teach you all the the history and the shit. Even if you read about it or go on YouTube and watch clips, it's different than if you actually lived it. Like if you lived the Mike Bellotti era, or if you were a fan when we had Chip, like you understand what like unless we get to that caliber, we're never going to be able to win a national championship in our history ever. It has to be that special kind of vibe where you look at the coach and you get goosebumps. You look at the coach and he's got the visor on and you're like, you know what? We're fucking badass. We're one of the top 3 in the country. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Like we got something fucking special in this guy. And that's what exactly you felt with Chip. Rose Bowl, Natty, Rose Bowl, Fiesta Bowl. All BCS games 4 years in a row. Never is going to happen again. Facts. 4th and 7. Timeout called. Bro, you have no idea. Like the Joey Harrington era was so much fun. Like, bro, if we could go back in time and I could take you to a game back then and you could see NFL players on the Ducks on all levels, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, O-line, D-line, linebackers, corners, and safeties. Like, it was an amazing thing. Like, literally had more NFL players in that 3 to 4 year stretch than any era we've ever had. Like, but people will remember the Chip Kelly teams more with D'Anthony and LaMichael because they were so fucking explosive. Like we never seen anything like that on Oregon before. Like Reggie Bush type of skills at Oregon with D'Anthony. Like, okay, sign me up. LaMichael and LeGarrette Blount. You kidding me? It was awesome. Like, we felt like we could score on a 50 to 60 on anyone, and our defense, was not as good, but we felt pretty confident in the D that they could make plays too. But imagine having 2 corners and 2 safeties in Oregon in college at the same time, and all 4 go to the NFL. Like just imagine, and if they were like first round, second round, third round, like all like, bro, it's such a game changer. Even if our D line and linebackers weren't that good, You have 4 NFL players in the secondary. What do you think is going to happen in this passing league? You think they're going to be able to do a lot? Yeah, you'll try to run, but eventually, we'll get enough, D-line and linebackers to be at least average or above average. Great defense there by the Ducks. And then obviously these jerseys based off 94, Kenny Wheaton, the pick. I mean, you're talking about that's what put us on the map, that single play. And then eventually 6 years later, the Joey Harrington era, after that. But, that we had to have that first, moment where like, look, we made it, we lost in the Rose Bowl, but we got there with a big, big pick six, a 90-yard pick six. I mean, I wouldn't want it any other way, just like Rondé Barber against the Eagles. Let's go. There we go. Yeah, I got it on. Look at Melrose. Melrose, like, get off me. Big game. First down, Bama. Roll Tide. Oregon scored on 4 of the last 5 drives. It's kind of funny. It's like, how teams can come out so flat and then they have to get yelled at by the coach, and then all of a sudden things get fixed. Like, you already know you're going to get yelled at the coach if you're not putting in, all your tips out there, It's that pep talk. All right, this is where you guys are fucking up at. This is what we're going to do. First down, Bo Nix. He kind of good. But even as good as Bo Nix is, Oregon fans will be like, oh, he'll be so good in the NFL. Will he? I mean, I don't project him to be very good in the NFL. Like, poor man's Baker Mayfield. I'll take him on Tampa as like, Baker's backup. But, I mean, it's not like I don't think he's going to start right away for any football team. He's not good enough. Like, even we have questions about Quinn Ewers and Michael Penix Jr. starting in the NFL, and he's much better, those guys. So being a college quarterback is one thing, but I would be absolutely shocked if Bo Nix ends up being the best quarterback out of this quarterback class in the NFL. But I won't be the only one that's shocked. I mean, there's like 4 or 5 guys that that should be better than him, and maybe even more than that, maybe 7 or 8 guys that are better. But I don't think he sucks, but it's like he would have to go to the right system, kind of like Brock Purdy to the Niners. You go there, you have a better chance of success than going to the Browns, Go James. LeBron James. I saw that Vine and that YouTube and all the old LeBron James. Kind of crazy when you get things that come up on the timeline. You haven't seen them in like a year or two, and all of a sudden they'll pop up as like a memory or someone like shares it. Look at Bucky, 9-yard average, 8.7 for James. Is that good? Bo? Terrence Ferguson, first down, Oregon. Let's go. First and goal, 31-16, Oregon. Oregon just got the swaggiest clothing. You know what I mean? Like, even if you didn't buy any clothes other than Oregon, you'd be suited and booted. It's like you can buy Nike or like Ovo or Prada, or you can go like, Adidas or, jumpsuits or whatever. But I mean, Oregon swag is just like, they make like the premium, it's like they're not going to give you just a Nike hoodie. They're going to give you the top of the line, rich dog swaggy. And like some of the player exclusive stuff is like swag, dude. Like the backpacks, and the fucking hoodies. Like the quality is like on another level for the players. The top of the top. And sometimes they allow that to go to the fans at certain locations. Some of that stuff, but a lot of it is player exclusive. Like I have like sweats, like the based off the players, like that, and there's a big difference. You can definitely tell with the quality if you're going to be paying like 80 to 120 at the store. The player stuff is like 2 to 350. Like it's a more better quality. It's a vibe. First and goal, shotgun set, Nix, fake toss, pump fake, scrambling, gambling. There we go. But Bo Nix, going to Tampa Bay would probably be a good fit for him. Think about it. He's like kind of like a baby Baker. Look at that, baby. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Eligible. Eligible. Damn it. Matt Jackson Powers, bro. Read some magazines. Get up on that. Looks like he could be a very good offensive lineman in the NFL. Replace 4 linemen. We've only given up 4 sack lunches. 1 returning player. That's it. So at least we know that recruiting is coming in good for O-line and for defense, hopefully in the next few years. Because that'll be the difference between us, getting to like a Rose Bowl or not, especially playing with Michigan and Ohio State on the regular now. It's going to be hella weird, bro. Big Ten and SEC, like 2 super conferences, like Oregon and Washington, right? And USC and UCLA are going to be a part of the Big Ten. That is just so fucking weird. It'd be cool if we still had all the same players going into next year, so that excitement would even be higher. Like, oh my gosh, like who's going to win the Big Ten? Could it be a Pac-12 team? Like, no one would ever say that in years past. But if we had all the same teams transferring over the same players next year, you'd be like Oregon, USC, and Washington legitimately are going to have a shot. We already know Michigan and Ohio State's defenses are the best. But if somehow one of those 3 teams gets lucky, you never know. Ducks, baby. Yeah, if I ever get like on a big dono train or whatever, I'll try to send some gifts out and whatnot. But the gloves that I get, either the ones that are player worn or they're like a fan issued only for a limited time, like the ones that I have. Like if I could, down the road, I'll send something. We got you a duck chain and whatnot, and we'll probably get you another one. Well, maybe at some point, during the season. That way you can have at least another one to add to your collection and whatnot. But yeah, down the road when things get better, I'll hook you up with some gloves. I'll be able to find some for $100 to $200, and you can fucking rock them. Rock them in Hawaii. I guarantee you'll be one of the only ones that fucking on any island that's got fucking duck gloves. Duck gloves and the duck chain is like if you're talking about it's a custom jersey is one thing, but duck chain and duck gloves that puts you in like another category of fan. So you like them as much as me. You're on that level, so you might as well get suited and booted from your boy. So yeah, and I probably wouldn't be able to do like these natty gray ones, the first ones, because then these ones are going to run, 2, 3, 400. But the other ones, if you look, you're able to find them for like 100 to 200, like the neon green ones that I wear to the game and whatnot. And and sometimes you're going to have material that breaks off of them. If you sweating them and you put them in the box, if it comes with the box, there's going to be a little bit of deterioration in some of them, but it is what it is. Fucking game used, literally. And then at some point, if you end up getting a computer, or a camera, then you could like hop on while I do the duck game and we can talk ducks. You know, you just got to figure shit out. You got to get yourself a fucking computer or microphone and figure out what job you got, figure out what money you got, and then you want to do your route running and your NFL shit. You can hop on and watch ducks with your boy. First and goal. Yeah, I saw that. It came up in my fan. If you have ESPN, it comes up with the alerts on there. Yeah, Debo gonna miss time. Yeah, if I can copy and paste that shit, boom, Finley, put that shit in there. Let them know you got fantasy. And you're like, oh shit, I didn't mean to have like the ESP the chief will chief to let him go to his downfall. But I mean, I was analyzing that team, and the bench could be stronger and very top heavy with Josh Allen, number one running back, Christian McCaffrey, number one running back, Josh Allen, number one quarterback, and then having Devontae Adams as like a top 10 receiver that can put up 20 to 40 points. If those three guys hit in fucking 1 week, right? Josh Allen, number one quarterback in fantasy, Run CMC, number one running back, and top 10 Devontae Adams, wide receiver, you might be able to get 100 to 110 points with those three guys. Chances are you won, you know? But if those guys get hurt and your other guys don't have depth and the bench isn't able to replace that, right? Then you're fucked, right? Or you're going to maybe hit a wall. So, touchdown, Alabama. But he's doing multiple fantasy teams, and I think 2 out of the 3 guys aren't injured anymore, so I think he'll be all right. But the CMC threat, I mean, shows you got to have depth in fantasy. You just can't be like, oh, I got one quarterback, one kicker, one tight end. Like, what happens if Travis Kelce gets hurt? And then you got all these backup running backs and wide receivers, but you didn't do the one thing that you should have did. Make sure you had an insurance plan for Kelce or Andrews or Kittle if they get hurt. And then if you do, then, like I got Andrews and Laporta. I'm in the best situation. One guy gets hurt, I don't give a fuck, right? Oh, Laporta got hurt, who cares? Andrews got hurt, who cares? I got the other one, so it's like 2 out of the top 4. That's how you can gain advantage across the league, when you can do stuff like that too. But obviously Sarah knowing how good he was and me taking a chance and even offering to reflect. And then I was like, you know what? I believe in this Detroit Lion team. I am pulling the trigger. Good thing. Sometimes you have to have those gut feelings before everyone else. And if you can have that 2 to 3 week jump on people in fantasy or in real life, whatever, you definitely can get a little bit of an advantage. Nice. Good record. It's tough to go undefeated, or even if you go like 1 loss or 2 loss, but if everything goes right and you put in a lot of work, you can a lot of times, have 3 losses or less. That kind of puts you in an elite category. But sometimes there's bad luck with injuries or just drafting maybe not as good as normal. Sometimes things fall into our lap, and we have to make a decision. And if you don't hit, on some of the first, 6 picks, like if guys get hurt or their ACL and they're done, I mean, it's crippling sometimes. So, but I have always said, no matter what happens, even if my guys got hurt my first round, my second round, my third round, I still believe I have the talent that I can still be a playoff team. I might not be able to win it all, but I could still come back from that horrible scenario if I drafted well. And then also there was a few people on the wire I could pick up within the first 3 weeks. And then I'm like, you know what? I can still win the championship or finish in the top 3 or 4. You just got to be able to, really, know the league as a whole. Huge advantage. And you got to know depth charts. Depth charts help because you get that no-name guy, pick him up, boom, 17 points. Sometimes that gets you the victory. Lucky Irving, he's kind of good. Ducks, we're good. Let's go. Oregon Ducks, we're that. That's us. Next, 3rd and goal, floater. Touchdown, Ducks. You kidding me? Go next to fucking brother Tez? Fuck out of here. Are you fucking kidding me, Matt Payton? That was fucking beautiful. I've been waiting for that shit all day. Look at the route. Look at the ball placement and look at the effort to turn his body to get into the end zone. Yeah. Extra point is up and good. It'll be you one day, bro, with duck gloves. You got to make sure you're careful though, because your friends and other people they're going to try to steal them. You'll be like the only one on the fucking islands with it, so it's like you have to treat it like like precious. Like fucking they got the stick grip on them too. You can actually play like like high school ball. Like they have the sticky grip. These are from 13, 14 years ago, and the sticky grip is still on them. That's the technology of this high end Nike gloves that the Oregon Duck team uses. It's like unbelievable. Still has the grip. Badass. Just like that touchdown. Fuck yeah, bro. I said, sports gods. I was like, you know what? We are worth this. Sports gods are like, yeah. Guess what? We are touchdown Ducks. Let's fucking go, baby. Des Johnson, touchdown Ducks on the motherfucking slot fade. As Johnson, he closes the space with the DB, changes up the tempo of the crossover, gives a fake to the inside to make the DB jump inside and get skinny on the slot fade and finishes the play. How I do that? DB was 2 to 3 yards off inside the shade press, closes the space with the DB. Let's go. That's touchdown all game right there. Tez, our boy. We're just so swaggy. I mean, look at all the subtle details on the uniform. Like by the O, just the placement of like the plastic and the different logos. Like everything is so fucking clean, dude. Like if you're a Duck fan, I mean, literally, it's like the best place to be. I mean, as far as like fashion and kind of pushing the envelope, always having the coolest merch. You know, some of the most innovative people, like Brian, the one that does collegiate art designs with these chains. It's not just an O; they have diamond plated markings in the actual O, like all over. They look like mini UFOs, going in different directions on the chain, and they're like raised above the O, so you can actually feel them engraved into the chain. Like subtle details like that. That's what separates Brian and collegiate art designs from a lot of these other people that make chains and custom merch for their college school. Like he's NCAA endorsed, but I mean he's fucking innovative, and I like that shit. Like I want to see that extra detail put in, and that diamond plate fucking makes that shit to another level. Fucking go. -8 yards in the second half. Like -8 in donos. That's like us, huh? Get rid of him. Yeah. Got some Ducks cheerleaders. And it's dope too, because like when I had seats when I was in front of the 20-yard line, that's where the main TV camera is, and your front row right in front of the cheerleaders, like literally like right there. Cheerleaders, bench players. You can hear conversations and talk with people there. It's pretty badass. But I'm there to do the football thing. I'm not there to flirt. I'm there to I'm watching the game. But yeah, we would have fun, bro. Tailgating is, even if you're not a big drinker, or a big partier, it's like you almost get into that environment, and it's like you don't have to get crazy or anything, and you could be just very chill. But you're going to eat good and you're going to drink good. There's always going to be good options, and the people are creative too. It's not just going to be like hot dogs or hamburgers and stuff. So, and people got like vehicles and RVs and barbecues and flat screens. They like bust them out, and it's pretty badass, dude. Like you can still keep watching the college games in the morning, even when you're tailgating. Get some cornhole hand. Get him! There we go. 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a duck sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. There we go. See how we pulled away? And then that big touchdown from Tez, from Bo, and it's like nail in the coffin. Like style points, to give Bo Nix a little bit more style points. 38-16, 8 minutes left. Let's see if Cameron Ward's got anything left. Tackle him. A crown. He's a crown. He's a big crown. He's so crowny. Illegal block in the back. Go Ducks. It's like my home away from home, besides going to Seattle for the Mariners. Like, those are my two favorite places to go. Seattle for the Mariners and Seahawks up there, and then obviously Eugene for the Ducks. But Mariners up there, it's a beautiful place there in Seattle. And then you get a room right there on Elliott Bay. Man, something else. Second down and 18, 38-16, Oregon. Them Oregon boys are kind of good. Them Oregon boys are good. Second and 18, hit him. There we go. There we go. There we go. And then the singing of shout in the fourth quarter and the vibe, like the stadium is a vibe, like, you know what I mean? Like, you really get a lot of diehards, and then imagine just having like an entire vibe, and we're louder than most, so you feel the energy. Shotgun set, floater. Oh, what a catch! First down, Cougars. That was the biggest play that they've had. That was sweet. I hope they actually do score. I mean, I want our defense to do well, but I want the flow of the game for them to at least get 20-something, to feel good. One more touchdown, put them at 23. That'll make them feel good. 23 or 24 is a hell of a lot better than 16. And when you're going to lose a game. There we go. Go. Wide open. Go. Go. Runs over 3 Ducks. Move the trains. Are they? First down at 10, 6:14 left and counting. Shotgun set, audible at the line for Cameron Ward. I actually like Cameron Ward. I don't know about NFL talent, Cameron Ward, but as far as like, I can see why they're 4-2 and not 2-4 based on watching the game. He just needs a little help with the defense. Oh, it's 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a duck sack lunch, baby. Yum, 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 yum. Justin Jacobs. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tennessee fans rolling in the Twitter comments, blaming the ref ball. All about that placement with the O. You got the O gloves. You can't have that shit crooked, You got to make sure that shit is lined up every single time, swag. Let's go. 38-16 Ducks. Let's see if they can get half the yardage here. Shotgun set. There we go. Third down and 6. I had to move the Hollywood Hogan and the guardrail and the spray paint, all the accessories, the belt. Hollywood Hogan, brother. My Stone Cold. Found a vintage Stone Cold from the 90s. Third down and 6. Nice. Oh, fumble. 5 sack lunches for the Ducks defense. That actually is an A-plus day. Nothing else you can say about that. 4th down in the yard. Little tush push. 34-20 Bama. They're running away with it. 4th and 1. 4th and 1 for both teams. Tush push. Look at O-Dog. Oh, they lined up. Damn, your boy's got that ESP like a motherfucker, huh? Because a lot of times if I predict shit, it's like I just look, okay, if I was the offensive coordinator for this team, what would I do based on how Oregon's playing me? You know what I'm saying? Like what are the chances of them actually running up into the tush push? Like, you just have to understand football, and if you've watched it, and then I try to get in the head of the player or the coach and be like, okay, if I was coaching the team and I was on Washington State, this is how I would beat Oregon. I'd run that. Even if they don't have the personnel for the tush push, but it's college football. Fuck it, get down there and block. Maybe I'll lean forward and get a yard. Game film, bro. If I didn't read and watch as much game film, there's no way in hell I would be able to predict fucking anything, not even one thing. Like that, if put in a lot of work, you start to see tendencies, and I can start seeing things before, and then sometimes they listen, and then they line up and do what would be the most efficient play call to run, regardless of what team you were. 4th and 1, you're losing the game, and you want one more touchdown to get to 23, so you don't look as bad. 38-24 is a lot better than 38-16 or 38-23. What's going to get us in the end zone? Halfback dive, a little slant. Oh, I don't know if I like that against Oregon right there. Too close. A little tush push. Fuck it. Best chance. Dog. The dog. And that's why the other people on TV and the podcast, they just do it based off like popularity. You have to go deeper. O line, D line, defense, coaching, play calling. That's going to be like a trademark. It's like that's NWSF. O line, D line, defense, coaching, play calling. Like if you don't have those, you're not going to do what you think you're going to do. I don't give a shit who your players are at quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end. Hell, they could be all the best in the NFL. But if you don't got O line, D line, defense, coaching, play calling, you're fucked. So, and I think that is very true to any football squad that you see that that has potential. That O line and that D line and that coaching and play calling, man, golly. 5 sack lunches for the Ducks. Is that good? I might take a risk in fantasy. And just because, even though the Dolphins are playing the Eagles on the road, Jeff Wilson Jr. is coming off from IR for the first time this season, has not played a game. So Achan is out. So even if the defense plays pretty good, you think that, you're probably going to get 8 to 10 points out of Wilson if he gets some opportunities, unless he only gets a couple touches. I might plug him in, to take a risk. What happens if he gets in the end zone? What happens if he ends up getting 8 points or 10 points? Or I might just monitor and see how he does. 4th down and 1. Now they run into a shotgun set. Now, tush push. See how the Ducks line up. Play action fake bootleg. And we got him. 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for our 6 sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Sackalicious. Let's go. What a way to be able to like just to give them that joy to get to the 20s, but then we get that more of a signature win against a team that's 4-2, even though they're not ranked, and that we started really slow and hung over on the loss from the Huskies, and then we finally got it into gear. Like we should be able to beat USC at home, but if Caleb goes off, we're fucked. So it's like we need the crowd is going to have to be the loudest all year at that game for us to win. If the crowd is like not on their game, yeah, we could definitely lose. But we got the dub with the unis, so that's really what's most important. Why does David Montgomery have to be hurt for me? Montgomery, why? Jay Jetta on IRY. That's like killing me, man. Killing me, Smalls. Drafting Justin Jefferson and then not getting to use Justin Jefferson in fantasy. What's worse than that? Nothing. Jay Jetta? The Jetta that is a J? 2nd and 6? Jordan James. Jordan James. LeBron James. Let's go. Ward didn't want to throw that bad pick. He didn't want to give up a pick six or a big play. He said, I'd rather just get hit. That's when you know you got an efficient quarterback that sometimes, even at the very end, not making the stupid play. Like, I'm not going to throw a dumb pick six, make my fucking shit look terrible after already losing by this much. I'm keeping my completion percentage good. I'm a smart quarterback. Scouts will look at that. Ducks with the quad. 3rd and 3. I don't know what the hell that was. The hell was that play call? Oregon punting with 2 minutes left, giving them another chance to score to make them feel good about themselves. It'd be really awesome if I started Jeff Wilson as my RB1, and then all of a sudden he gets like 16 points. I wouldn't expect him to put up Achane points. Achane points was like 34 points for like 3 fucking weeks in a row. You had fucking Achane, you probably won. All right, who we got? Utah, California, USC, Arizona State, Oregon State. USC scares me. Utah will be hard, and then Oregon State is that one that could beat us. Like out of all the games, that's the one I fear the most because Oregon State is slept on. I've watched every game that they play. They're very good, and their defense could suffocate us, and it could be not fun, so that's going to be the funnest game, I think. Because I think they're the possibility of actually losing, Utah, USC, Oregon, it'll be there. And we could. So 2 minutes to go. All right, I need McLaughlin, backup running back for the Broncos, to put up like 10 or 15, and Jeff Wilson to put up 8 to 10. I gotta get the message from the sports gods before I take Rachaad White out of the lineup and put one of those guys in. It's like sometimes I have to just reach, for the stars and just hope to God if I put in some random guy that they score like 17 in fantasy. Just like being that ultimate fantasy player and just reaching, 38-16, Ducks, shotgun set, Ward. Gang tackle by the Ducks. Held Tennessee to 1 TD on 4 red zone trips, 34-20, 2 minutes to go for Alabama. Alabama's a second half team, let me tell you. That's what happens when you have NFL players and an NFL coach and Saban and starts screaming at you and shit, and telling how terrible you're playing, losing to this kind of team, and then boom shakalaka NFL players drink the Gatorade, eat the Wheaties, and then dominate in the 3rd and 4th quarter. Game over. That's how it is to play SEC ball. I want Oregon to have 8 NFL players on defense and 8 on offense. What's that like? If Matt Payne play wide receiver, the Ducks, great, bro. There we go. Nice catch. First down, Cougars with chains. All right, Cougs, you've earned it. There it is. Dee, 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 dee. Dee, 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 dee. Cougs. Come on, Ward. You got the Cougar up there in the corner. Let's go. Oh, baby. Touchdown, Cougars. You ask and you shall receive, sports gods. Thank you, sports gods. It's like we were just waiting for him to put up the foam finger logo. There it is. Touchdown, Cougars. Unbelievable. What a catch. Sports gods, they listen. It definitely looks better on the page at 23 rather than 16. No one wants to lose 38-16, but 38-23, you can be like, at least we put up 23. If you play sports or sports, this is a thing. So we lost, but hey, at least we got to the mid-20s. That's better than being in the teens or in the single digits. Making the best of a worse situation. 2-point conversion. They're like, we're trying to get to 24. We really need that 24 number. We need that 24. We need that Kobe. And a flag on the play. 2-point conversion is good, but is there a penalty on Stanford? Having to trust guys like McLaughlin, like Denver's running back, and Jeff Wilson, like, you don't know what you're getting. Rashad White, Jalen Warren. Yeah, but if I do win the championship this year, it'll prove that you don't need, any elite running backs or maybe one, and then you can still find a way. They're the best, dude. Number one, Broncos. Yeah, it's a bad situation. And one of my, best friends, Justin, he's a Bronco fan, hardcore, like hardcore, and so it's like I became a fan in the old school, like John Elway era in the '80s. So the guy's like seen the good, but also has seen like the bad. All right, Cougars, you got your little foam finger, and then boom, instantly touchdown. 38-24. Looks a lot better on the stat page. Oh yeah. Oh, sports gods. Yes, correct. That is better. Thank you for listening. I appreciate that. Plus, it gives us a little more excitement before the game ends. Thanks, sports gods. Appreciate you. Makes the game more electric, baby. Let's go. Janikowski. Onside kick recovered. Bucky, baby. Like Bucky gives you that LaMichael, Kenyon Barner, big play vibe. He's not going to be as electric as like D'Anthony because unless it's Tyreek, it's kind of that only comparison. So, but like you're getting big plays. Bucky, a little Kenyon, a little LaMichael, in one there. 180 today. Is that good? Good job, Bucky. $20 targets, 20 times, 16 catches, school record. Golly. Bucky, baby. Kind of hit you the Bucky there. 3, 2, 1, final. Go Ducks. And, it shows you, it's like our defense is nowhere near, when the defense is good and when the defense isn't. So it's like you can still have a really good record and win like 8-4, 9-3. But there's a difference between 8-4, 9-3, and then those teams that only lose one or two or none. There's like a different vibe. And it's okay, man. We're not there yet. But hopefully next year, the year after, if we get some defensive recruits, then things will change. So good win, 38-24. I'm going to go hang out with Paisley, and we'll end up doing either the Bucks and the Falcons in the morning, reaction videos, and then the Dolphins and the Eagles, or I'll just watch the Bucks and the Falcons and then do reaction videos in the afternoon and then set up for Dolphins and Eagles. So that will be the plan for tomorrow. Bama did get good revenge. We got the dub. Bucky Irving is OG, triple OG. And I appreciate you guys for hanging out and watching, and go Ducks as usual. Let's go. Shout out to everyone that subbed, like, donated to the channel. You guys are the best. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang.